We're here. All right, what up?
We're live, baby.
We're live on YouTube. This is episode 79, I think. BFS Live, formerly Breaking Free Speech, Breaking Free Skate Park podcast. We are here with Aaron from Krudco.
What up?
Total legend. I'm really excited to have you here.
Awesome. Excited to be here, man. It's cool.
There are a few
Thanks for
people that have
asking.
done what you've done. I mean, basically what I know of you is you've had Krudco for 30 years and you've probably done everything relative to skateboarding, but why don't you just give me a real quick, just give me your 2-minute. Who is Aaron Costa?
Kid from Greece, New York, North Greece, so to speak. And just skateboarder, started the shop because there wasn't a good one around at the time and just ran with it and ended up making a whole bunch of friends and linking up with, so many people over the years and just creating such an awesome community and just really cool stuff and seeing where it's turned into and watched it all grow. And I don't know, it's been a cool ride. It's been a cool ride. And I'm just some kid that just was a skateboarder that had an idea to try to do something because there wasn't something. And here we are. I wasn't good at running a business. You know what I mean? You just sort of dove in. That was what it was. And I still might not be the best at it, but here we are. 30 years later, we did something right. Had a lot of help along the way, too.
Well, I tried to figure out how many skate shops there are in America, and that's kind of a hard thing to really figure out.
Yeah.
Tried to use AI, and AI is really terrible for really niche information.
Yeah.
The best I can come up with is, I was trying to see how many there were, and then how many have lasted, I tried to look for like 20 or 25 years, right?
Yep.
And the best I could find in my research, and there's only been a very few that have made it as long as Krudco.
Yeah,
and I think even fewer who have been around as long as you and are still here.
Yeah.
So, you should be really proud of what you've done there. Yeah. So why did Krudco last when all these others haven't?
Oh, Lord. I think a lot of it just comes down to just sheer tenacity and determination of I'm just not going to close no matter what. Like in the worst of times and the best of times, obviously the best of times you're not thinking about that. But when things are down, all sorts of stuff run through your head. But like, what else are you going to do? And how man, we just kept it going. And that was it. Whether it was through me sacrificing, everything that I've sacrificed as far as personal stuff, like life stuff, family stuff, monetarily, socially, and everything, but just to keep it going. And, you're not even really sure why you're keeping it going after a while, but you know that you should probably keep it going. You're like, well, I'm just going to do this. You don't know anything else half the time either, even though you may have other jobs or side jobs. But this one thing, Krudco, the skateboard shop, just is always there. And like, you kind of feel like, well, this is my kid now.
Yeah.
So I kind of can't just abandon it and leave it to die. You got to keep it up, whether it's limping along or whether it's running full speed.
Is there an analog to getting the clip or landing the trick with this, where it's just like, no, like?
Oh no, I don't think there is. I think you're just kind of going for it forever. It's a forever thing. I don't know if there's ever going to be a land it.
Okay, it's fair. I
mean, maybe there's small landings throughout. I guess you're hitting some tricks throughout on this long line that we're on.
Yeah.
Same with you. And
it's like filming a video that never comes out.
Yeah. It never comes out. It's never going to be done. You're just constantly moving forward with it and trying to produce something new. Maybe not everyone's into it. Maybe a whole bunch of people are into it.
Yeah.
But you just keep going anyway.
Well, I want the Krudco origin story. Now, like I have. Like there's like what actually happened, and from being in the shop all those years, you kind of like massage it, and here's my elevator pitch. Here's like there's almost all not I don't want to say the Disney version of it, but give me like what's the origin story?
So this was out for a while. Part of this story was out on the website early on, But the Kruds is where it came from, which was our crew. Like our skate crew was myself, Kurt Schmidt, Ron Butera, Kerry Schmidt, and Dave Schmidt. Rachel was in it, Rachel Davies. Arden, or Roxlow, he was there, like a real OG. And it was just our crew. We were the Kruds. And that came from, oh my God, dude. This is embarrassing to this day in a weird way. Just because we're a bunch of kids from, North Greece and Hilton. And the Crips and the Bloods, the gangs, had a truce.
Yeah.
And we were into hip hop. We were not pro cops. We were punk kids, skateboarders, all that shit was going on back, in 92 or whenever the hell this was at this point. 92, probably. And Ron came up with the name, we'll be the Kruds. That could be our crew, Kruds. It's like the Crips and the Bloods. And we were all down. We're skating in the Blockbuster parking lot, hanging out in some summer, and it clicked. It was awesome. We thought it was fun, so we became the Kruds. Went on to college. Now we're in 93, 94, early 94, late 93 probably. We were still hanging, still called ourselves the Kruds, had a little crew, wrote it down like the Kruds, da-da-da. And I needed a name for a fake business for a project in college, my first year of college, for like a design thing. And I'll do Krudco. And that's where I came up with the Krud company, Krudco. Yeah. That'll be our little skate and snowboard shop. So I started making like a fake flyer for it and like a logo and stuff like that for this class. And I didn't get a good grade on it, but I still made a little K logo. And that was it. It kind of sparked a thing and put a bug in my butt to like, screw it. Like, my dad has a small space about the size of this room here, 12 by 12, and I just started planning opening a store and just figuring out how to get product, and did it and called it Krudco with the blessings from the homies, and away we went.
So it started as like a school project.
It started as a school project.
And then you're maybe I could do this.
Yeah, college project, Krudco, skate and snowboard shop, written down on some little thing for a fictitious business that we had to market. And that was it. I was like, shit, dude, I think this would kind of be cool. I could probably do
How old are you when you had this project at school?
19, 20.
Oh, so it was college?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My first year of college, yeah. So I graduated in 93, got into college by 94, and had the store open the first year of college. It wasn't hard to open it. I mean, my dad had a space, and I used his address, so I didn't have to worry about a home address. I had like a commercial address, and I just sent out letters to companies and made phone calls to companies and hit them all up and said, hey, we're trying to start a skateboard shop. This is what I got. This is where I am. And they're all like, oh, send us photos. So you got to go and take pictures, print the pictures, mail the pictures out with a dealer application. We didn't get a lot of accounts because it was just an office. It wasn't a real true storefront. So a lot of companies weren't fucking with us right away.
And were there distributors at that point in time?
There was.
Okay.
Eastern was floating around.
Okay.
They've been around forever.
Oh, yeah,
and
boys.
AWH too. And AWH has been around since like the 70s, like 76. So those two were going, and I think Skate, the one in Texas that Eastern bought, I don't remember the name of them, but they were just starting to go to, I want to say Skate Supply or something. It's not Skate Supply Warehouse, but it was like, SkateNet is the website, I think. It's skatnet.com. And they're like one of Eastern's distributors, but they were around. But the first account we had was, I had Tumyeto, which is Foundation and Toy Machine, and Consolidated. And those were the first two companies that opened me. And then shortly after, like Etney Shoes opened us, and DC did too. And that was a surprise because we were so small.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we'll sell you sneakers. I bought like 3 or 4 pairs of sneakers,
Yeah.
like basically shoes for me and my friends.
It's still a mixed bag when you're applying for dealers these days.
Yeah.
Some companies are like really they want so much information, and then some are like, yeah, sure, I'll send you stuff.
Yeah, just here's the B2B, go here and then just fill
Yeah.
out and pay with your credit card. It's so much different now when you can just pay online.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely changed the whole game with the check thing where they're nervous about how your checks are going and is it gonna bounce
Oh,
or
so
not.
you would have to order over what you'd like order over the phone.
Yeah, order
and
over
then
the
they'd send
phone.
it, and then you'd send a check, or you
Yeah.
have to send a check
I
first.
do COD.
Oh, so
They
when they
come
got
in.
okay, wow.
Yeah, the guy, or we did COD. We did cash on delivery too, where we would pay the UPS guy in cash
That's crazy.
and get the stuff. Yeah, it was really wild. They stopped doing that. I remember. They
By
don't
the time
do that anymore.
I didn't start working in bike shops till I was 19, so
Yeah.
in 2006 or 7. So we were already kind of in the credit card over the phone
Yeah,
era,
that was already starting to happen.
but still way before the B2B
Yeah,
websites.
the B2B stuff really.
I love it.
I think it's great too, but I do miss the banter and the phone calls.
I like I don't want to get too much into the weeds on the business side.
No, I know.
I
but-
like a nice mix. Like I want to peruse the B2B, see what's
Yeah.
on sale, put my cart together, send the order, and then the sales rep calls
No, I like
me.
that too.
He
I
goes,
like that
oh,
too.
hey, Aaron, I got your order. Just so
Yeah.
you know that we got a sale on this. And it's like, oh, you got my back? Cool. They call once in a while, but I get annoyed when I can't just peruse what they're selling
Yeah.
when I have a chance. Because, some days you have time and some days,
Some days you don't, yeah.
And when I have the chance to look through the website and decide what I want to order for the shop, that's great. And a lot of times when they call, I'm like, I'm standing
No.
inside a ramp right now.
Yeah, I got nothing for you right now.
Yeah.
I had that the other day where I'm like, I'm in the middle of doing taxes right now, going through tax papers, and then they want to banter with you on the phone, and you're like, I'm doing taxes right now, man. I can't talk to you right now. I got to get this tax stuff done. My CPA's on my ass about it. Like,
yep.
if I don't do this, I can't do that part. And some of them get it, and they are like, oh, yeah, no problem, man. I'll call you back later. And other ones will just keep going, and you're just like, dude, I got to go, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not buying anything right now. You ruined that one.
All right, can you give me the history, the rundown of Krudco in like a kind of a bullet points? The locations you've been in, the eras, the generations, the teams, the major
Yeah.
videos. Like you've had this whole. Give me the
Yeah,
cliff notes.
We'll go through the first location when I opened was at 209 North Clinton Avenue, and that was like 94 to maybe 96. First demos were over there. We had Consolidated come through, Neighborhood, a couple other teams rolled through at that point. Like the first year and a half we were there, and we moved quickly over to 83 Howell Street, which was our most famous spot. That was the one we were at for 19 years, I think. We ran our first video out of there, our first real heavy demos, signings, all sorts. That was when everything went on. It was like, so to speak, the golden age, the golden era of skateboarding and in general, where, everybody was touring. We did the black video. We had the orange video come out of that one. The gray video, blue video, black, orange, blue, gray, Vagabond video that Roy did with Red Bull. Those videos all got produced and pushed out of that location, which was really neat. We had the first team was built like there too, which started with Arden and went on to we had Brian Krankowitz, Justin Barnes, Jeff Prock, Greg Lang, Sean Flaherty. Dude, the team was sick back then too. Man, it was big. There's a lot of heads coming through. Mark Nardelli rode for us for a while. Dan Hockman, Ben Rubin, Caleb. And that's where it all, the main part of the community started growing there pretty rapidly and pretty fast, pretty large. I mean, the reach that we ended up having out of that location and during those years was when we started to lay down serious roots. Did the videos out of there, just demos, and man, we had Red Bull. Was it Manny Mania out front? A couple other demos and contests. We shut down the road, and moved from that location over to Park Avenue, were there for, I think, 6 years maybe on Park. That was fun. It was a good change. The landlord issues on the Howell Street thing happened and pushed us away. Park Ave was good. It was a good change. And then waited for the park to get built and then jumped over to Mount Hope where we are now. And it's good. It's a cool location. We've just put out one promo video for the first time in a long time when I actually had time to try to make a video and get some clips together and put something out for the film fest that Roy hosted, the Video Days Film Fest. But yeah, we just grew and came up over on Howell Street, pretty much grinded our teeth over there pretty hard and then spread out from there. I don't know if that answers the question fully, but there's a lot of stuff to go over.
No, that's pretty good. That was like the bullet points, the videos, the locations. Yeah.
It was fun. There was Howell Street, man. We ran so long over there. It was, Alan came in at that point and everything, and that's when everything, like the real foundation was laid out for Rochester skateboarding over there. Yeah.
Well, as I told you before the show, I'll let the viewers, the listeners know.
Yeah.
We're going to try not to get too down into the weeds about this stuff because we can always come back and really go into it. We're kind of keep this one kind of higher altitude, kind of really lay a foundation. So maybe if viewers have more questions, we can dive in.
Yeah, we can dive into other stuff.
Because we could do a whole episode about just having a team, and it's crazy.
And just even rep calls, we could do a whole episode on that. We could almost on any little aspect of running a business like this in this industry that we're in, the action sports.
Oh yeah,
whatever you want to call it at this point now, it's just sports like shit. Like kids just ride bikes.
There's not like a really good name for it. I've been trying to use that progression-oriented sports, like POAS is the analogy I've been using, but it doesn't roll off the tongue nice.
No.
And I hate the term extreme sports because so many parents are all pushed. They think it's too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that extreme, really.
No, it isn't.
It's as extreme as you want it to be, I guess.
Yeah, you have control over how extreme you want to go with skateboarding or BMX, either one of them. Scootering too, you are the controller of what you want to do.
Yeah, I like personal progression-oriented action sport, but that's
that's a whole bunch of mouth talking.
Yeah, whatever.
You just want it to go blah blah, but there is no just even action sports sounds horrible.
Because it isn't every sport based on action, right?
Exactly.
It's not about the downtime, you know? Yeah. All right, well, can you tell me about Krudco's highest and lowest moments or points? And this is the business specifically, not you, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
You alluded to some stuff in there, so.
Oh, yeah, there's, man, the best of the best, dude. When we were riding high in the shit, man. Early 2000s, those were like the gravy train, it really was in skateboarding. There was a lot of money to be made, a lot of talented skateboarders, a lot of people skateboarding, whether they were good or not. People were just enjoying it and skateboarding. They were spending money. The internet wasn't really there, pulling people away from the shops, so all the shops could make money. Everybody could eat and have a good time, because there were so many skateboarders. Events were happening, tours were going on. And that was the golden age, so to speak, the golden era that you may hear about. It's like older guys talk about it, and I'm an older guy because I lived in that time frame and I watched it and I helped to progress it and to make it go with the shop and everybody involved in it. And it was great. There was always something going on. There was parks popping up here and there, Scuff, Extreme, or Extremes, and other outdoor parks were hitting here and there, even if it was something like one in Corning, which is horrible, but it was one that opened and we were like, whoa, we're driving to Corning for some reason.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing we've ever gotten to, but we're going to skate it for 2 hours anyway, and then we'll drive back to Rochester. Stuff like that was happening then. And it was a real high point in skateboarding. The money was flowing in and out. I wasn't making any money, so to speak, or it was all getting just put back in. That was what it all was.
Yeah.
I never really made any money. I've lived, but like even at the highest points, I wasn't like taking my cut or whatever you want to say and putting it away. It was all just either paying for that or giving team riders. We had, at one point, Alan and I thought it was a good idea with Roy and like the team that we had. This was filming for the Black video, so it was early times, probably 2000, 2001, where we gave them credit. The team riders had like credit. So you can come in and they each had like $3,000 a year.
That's a lot.
It was fucking,
it's a lot of skateboards.
Dude, it was fucking crazy.
Was that credit in
Just take whatever you want.
In cost or retail?
Yeah. Yes. Depended on what it was the day.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
It really, we didn't keep good track of it, and some people definitely took advantage of it and had like $5,000. Like we ended up giving, it was ridiculous. It didn't work very well, but everybody got a lot of stuff, and we got a really good video out of it. I mean, it cost $20,000 probably in the end, $25,000, something like that, and free product that we gave them away. But hey, man, doesn't matter.
Yeah, the stuff there you're just worried about is if your dudes are taking stuff at cost and then selling it on the side.
That's the stuff that bums you out.
Yeah.
And no one was doing that I knew of. I don't think they had any reason to do that. But that would bum you out, and not producing. And the thing is, we were giving them stuff and they were producing.
That's great.
The Black video is amazing. Dude, holy shit. Justin Barnes came on board, and that put a spark on everyone's ass, and that video got done. That was really fun. So that was like some of the highest points right there. And some of the lowest points sales-wise, shoot, it's been the past couple years here and there. We've had some real downers, and right before we moved to Park Ave, it was real low time and sales-wise. And you watch, skateboarding is cyclical. The market's up and down all the time, and it has been before I opened. I knew about it the whole time I was opened, and the whole years we've always talked about it. Alan and I have talked about, the waves of skateboarding. I've spoken to it with countless other shop owners, company owners, and it's just waves. And you ride those low ones, and it's low where you're sitting there and no one comes in all day. A couple days in a row maybe, and you're just like, damn, it's like that right now.
Now imagine that when you're sitting in a 20,000
I couldn't even imagine, bro.
You're paying $10,000 a month for it.
I couldn't even imagine. I paid just over $1,000 a month for rent, and that's bad enough for me. Wondering how you do it here when you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, like what?
It's
the
that the meme, like the dog in the room on fire. And he's like, "This is fine."
Yeah,
that's
it. How it is.
That's it. This is fine.
Yeah, just hanging out. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. That's how it goes.
And that's it. What can you do? You try to figure out ways to get more people in. You try to do something else to stir the pot, keep it going. You do podcasts, you do little videos. And we're fortunate where that's something we can do now.
Yeah.
Go on social media and be like, yo, whether this turns into anything or not, I'm here. I'm fixing ramps right now. I'm gripping a board. This is what I'm doing. And that's what, watching yours gets me psyched. I'm like, man, I got to do it again. I got to try to do another little reel, at least do another cool video. Cool. Make another vid with, gripping the board again or building a complete. I did one on TikTok, tried that one before, and, just try to get engagement and get people talking and get people doing stuff.
Well, I got two things for that. One is we have gone through a massive shift, which I call like the decentralization of action sports, where it used to be magazines, shop tours. There was these avenues where people that wanted to consume skateboarding in whatever form, you found them in these places, right?
Yeah.
And then you had that. I like that nice little era where they were still making DVDs, but there was high quality web content, and then there was like, people who didn't have a crew or a company could put some effort in and get out a web edit, and it was like a happy medium, but it was pretty short lived. There was maybe like a 5-year window.
Oh yeah,
there.
that was like the honeymoon period. Yeah,
and then you got to like oversaturation
about 10 years ago,
and then major decentralization. And what you used to see is very regional strongholds for brands.
Yeah.
You go here and everyone's skating or riding this particular brand. They're all dressing a certain way, usually based on what the local shop is pushing or the local pro or whatever.
Yeah.
But now that doesn't exist because you can just follow the 10 skaters you like and the 2 brands that they do, and then everyone's dressing differently and riding different parts and has different style, to where there used to be this more, like almost like a healthy homogeneity.
Yes, 100%. I agree.
Whatever that word is.
That's exactly the word I was thinking of.
And then that
homogenized?
homogeny? I don't know.
Maybe. Sure.
And then
it is now.
Now that actually exploded into this. What you're telling me now is the same. I had this conversation with so many people because I'm trying to push out my content really high. The algorithms now are like, it's whether it be in the skate park or in the bike shop world, the mountain bike world, disc golf world, everywhere I'm in, every group is having trouble reaching their own followers. The people that have chosen to follow you, you can't even get to them because the algorithm is like half recommended stuff and half ads, and that leaves nothing left for you.
Yeah.
So the only way you could even get a chance is you have to post every day, lean into this clickbaity crap that I'm doing every day now, and then you might float up a little bit, just enough that then
you might grab
then the people that have chosen to follow you will see the content that you're putting out.
And we'll get to enjoy it and actually engage with you after 9 months.
Yeah.
Of them following you for 5 years, but can't find your content because the way the system is. Yeah. You watched Instagram switch. You watched the whole social media thing. And I use Instagram as a kind of a bellwether here. I mean, TikTok's huge in its own right, and that's its own beast. But even TikTok, you still, like, if there's people I follow on there, and if I don't go right to just who I follow, and I'm just scrolling, you're not seeing half the stuff you want to see. You're like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to. And so you try to curate it for yourself, but even that doesn't work. Yeah. Because the algo that they want to feed you is going to be pushing what they want you to see.
And also, the algorithm is closed source. So you can cultivate engaging content, grow it, and then one day it can just suddenly change, and you don't know why.
And it's gone.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel, and this video does good, this video does bad. And I'm posting on Facebook, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And then it does good there, but that one does bad there. And it's like, it's so hard to try to get some signal out of the noise.
Yeah, it's really wild, and to see like certain shorts kill it and other ones just sit. And you wonder, like, you wonder about timing and all sorts of different things like that to try to, see. But you just might have content that doesn't catch too. And I know I've had that.
Well, I've noticed, like, I had one video the other day that got 1,000 views in the first hour. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the one.
Yeah.
And then it took 24 hours to get the second 1,000 views. And it was almost like the algorithm decided, oh, let's push this out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it got some attention, but not enough. So it just back to bottom of the blind, back of the line.
They pushed you back down to the
last
bottom.
in line for the gangbang. Yeah. The one I did the other day where I said, and this is, like I said earlier, this is one of the ones where it's like random idea.
Yeah.
Filmed it really quick. You don't have enough room for a mini ramp in your garage video.
Yeah.
And that did really well on a bunch of the platforms. And I think because it started with like a question, like, you think, and then people are like, what? Oh, I don't? Oh, yeah, you don't tell me what I think.
Yeah, totally.
So in the next week or so, I'm going to experiment a little bit with like a lead-in kind of question to see if that was.
I had good traction with one that was similar to that, and I did it like the color. I ran out of color. I made a post because it was in black and white, and I was like, oh, I ran out of color on this one. Or I also had one where my battery died in the middle of filming this, and that was like the title. It got traction.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even a whole video. Like, it literally cuts off, but it got traction. But it didn't kill it, but it still got more traction than some other videos that had like better content. It's
weird.
It's social media is just a strange bedfellow, and I definitely didn't get into it soon enough and try to utilize it. But like, when
hindsight's 420.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You could woulda, coulda, shoulda all day long, and that's it. Like, oh, I could have done this, I should have done that.
Well, back when I opened the park in 2016, 17, I vlogged everything.
Yeah.
I had like 100 vlogs.
Yeah.
If I never stopped vlogging, if I had 8 years of vlogging.
No, I remember you did vlog. I remember that because I was like, oh, he's doing vlogs. It wasn't podcasts then.
I swear before that, I didn't even watch YouTube. I watched bike videos and I was obsessed, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy, shout out John Bechtold, was like, you need to do this. And I was like, what the hell is a vlog?
Yeah.
You know? And
it's a video log.
The first day he came here and I had to talk to the camera, I swear it must have taken me 2 hours to film like a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
And he had to leave the room. I was so embarrassed. And like those early videos are like, you could actually see me getting better at talking to the camera. And as you get engagements, it gets easier because you know there's a dialogue with the customer or the viewer, whatever.
Yep.
And, but yeah, if I never stopped doing that, if I just kept, and I remember once I started the business, I was like, holy, like I can't do all of this. I can't be making like 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week
and running
the business and trying to like, cause I actually celebrate this holiday every day in May 23rd. Cause I worked from late August all the way to May 23rd without a day off, like balls to the wall all fucking day. And so every day on that week, I'm like, this is Dave's first day off vacation day, you know? So it's just like balls to the wall. And then I just needed to like recoup and like get my sanity back, you know? Cause I wasn't sleeping. I was like building ramps every day. My body, I was so freaking sore. You kicked the
shit out of yourself.
We were just eating Mark's pizza and 30 racks of Jenny every night and just like wreaked havoc on my body, you know? It was brutal.
Yeah, I've been through the ringer on that one, the no days off for 6 months.
I have about 3 days off over the course of the winter.
You know?
Here.
Yeah. See, I got more days off now than I probably... Well, I got less days off now. I was running 2 days a week off for a long time. It was great. Wednesdays and Sundays I had off. It was amazing. For years, that was like my 2 days off. It was the best thing ever. And right now I work 3 jobs and have Sunday off. That's it. What are you going to do?
I did that post. You know? I'm not trying to play a one-up game here at
all.
No,
I don't care.
When I posted that thing the other day about how like I made $370 an hour or whatever, like that's legit. Like like my average week, I'm open. What is it, 61 hours? I'm open, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, I'm coming at like last night I was here till almost midnight.
Yeah.
Especially now with the baby and stuff. It's like I'm watching the baby from 6 a.m. But she sleeps pretty good. I usually get out of bed at 8 until 2. And then, like, I try to, like, salvage an hour with my amazing wife.
Yeah, exactly.
And then come here an hour early, and then I'm staying an hour late. So it's like, and then when the kids were on break, I must have worked, like, Dara joked with me, like, you're probably working 100 hours this week. And she starts adding it up, and she's like, it's like 90-something, you know?
And
so,
you
like,
break that down by what you might take home.
Yeah, and I brought home $12,000 last year. So if you base it around 60 hours a week, it's like I legitimately it was like $371 an hour.
Yeah.
So,
I always love doing the taxes, and you get down and you look and you're like, oh, $13,000. Whoo.
Dude, my CPA. Every year, my CPA is like, oh, do you have your? It's like the document you get from the healthcare that shows how much you paid in premiums.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have it yet, but it's 0.
Yeah.
And he's like, why is it 0? And I'm like, you do my taxes. You know.
You know why it's 0.
Well below the poverty line.
Yeah, that's how mine is
I'm like
too.
Less than half of the poverty line. Like I don't have to pay for health insurance. That's nice. You know?
Yeah, no, I don't either. It's really nice, and it's pretty good health insurance. You know, I get to go to the dentist. That was cool. Get my eyes checked out and stuff, and I didn't have that for a long time.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's loop back to the
let's go back in
skate shop. So Alan was on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's been involved in Krudco in many ways over the 30 years, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
He let us know when he was here that he's now part owner of Krudco. And a lot of people, he's just synonymous with Krudco. A lot of people
100%.
think he's the owner or at least part owner.
Oh,
right?
yeah, no question.
So now he actually is. How did that come to be? And like, what can we expect from Krudco in this new chapter?
Well, bringing Alan on was a long time coming. It's something I should have done, years and years ago. But
we need to play daddy for a few years, right?
Yeah, and, just being... just not thinking about it, you know what I mean? Just trying to run it and trying to make sure everything was, everyone was getting paid, everything was happening, doing my thing. And he was just such an integral part of it for so long that it was just seemed normal, you know, and then things got tight and he wasn't a partner. So it was his paycheck. We had to start cutting people out. But initially he should have come on back when we were on Howell Street. I should have just been like, yo, you want in on this? Let's go. Let's just fucking rock this out right now. Let's go 100% all in. And I kind of did that, but without him coming on board. And so over the years, it was one of the things that sat in my head for years. Like it ate me up. Just like, man, I should have. Last year, maybe a little bit before that, I was like, hey, I want to start doing this. Do you want to come on? I want to just bring you on. No discussion on anything of costs or what it would entail from him, because it was just like, yo, I owe you this. Just come in whenever you're ready. Let's plan it out. So we started planning it out for the beginning of this year. And he came in with energy that I don't have right now. I'm tired. 30 years in, dude. Sometimes I just don't give a fuck because I'm fucking tired. What am I going to do? I got 3 kids. I'm trying to keep the store going. All this stuff was going on. Make sure everyone's getting paid and not getting paid on top of it, you know. So bringing him on, fresh energy, fresh ideas, old ideas too that never got implemented. New energy. I'm letting him run. I'm just like, dude, I'm going to listen to you right now. You got ideas. I'm running by you. You got fresh ideas. Go with it. And I'm just going to kind of sit back and let him roll. Because it's Aaron. You kidding me? Like, the dude's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got great ideas. And so together, I think we can do some real good, you know, like we used to. So I'm really just letting him go. You know, I'm not trying to hold him back or, you know, I'm adding my 2 cents here and there, just like he is with me. But the new energy was needed, and he has it. And we should see it running smoother. We have just better customer service now. And just having someone on board again that cares and like has a good head on his shoulder about how things should be run and how we want it run. You know? So there we go. And there's Alan.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
No,
was there money involved, or is this just like you put in the time and now you're...
Oh, he put in the time. There's I don't care, man. There's no money involved in that. Yeah. He just came in. It's fucking Alan, bro. I owed him. Is it like a 50-50 or is it it's somewhere in there? 51-49. Wow. I'm 51.
Yeah. That's
so yeah,
awesome.
It's 50-50 basically.
That is super a lot of humility from you to do something like that.
Thanks. Yeah, there's been a lot of humility throughout this 30 years. Like of learning and just screwing up and like looking back and being like, "Dang, dude, I should have done this. I should have offered this." But, you know, there's 6,000 things going on. And you're trying to run a business. You're trying to skate. You're trying to manage a team. You're trying to manage the people that are managing your team and managing your store. And it's overwhelming. Yeah. So,
well, let me ask you a question. When things were rough, maybe this number changes, maybe it doesn't. Whether it's rough or not, things are rough or not rough. If someone walked in and wanted, like, take it off your hands, like, what's the number that you walk away?
There would have been definitely at times, but it would have been a million at one point. There was 250,000.
Yeah,
could have taken it for $250,000. You know, it's mainly in the name.
Yeah,
you know, and the longevity of it. That was it. That was the only thing I look at and like what it would mean. But, you know, nowadays it's like I'd have to talk to Alan.
Yeah.
Man, money talks. And, you know, there's always something you can do, even if you don't own the same thing. You know, it wouldn't end the progression of any skateboarding things here. It wouldn't stop us from doing events, you know, little things that we want to do in the future. It would just give us money to do it, and we wouldn't have that outlet, have the store as an outlet. But no, I mean, as you've gotten older and as you've done it longer, that stuff always reality sets in where you're like, dang, yeah, it would be cool not to have to worry about that anymore. I've worried about that for 30 years every day. I've stressed out on that for 30 years, for every day for 30 years. I've never had a vacation for 30 years, like a real vacation where you're not thinking about your business.
That's why I close twice a year to go on vacation. I can't even be. Well, I don't have employees, but even when I did have employees, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to stress about it. I want to be.
Yeah, I envy you for doing that. I really do. I really envy that.
You should. In the wintertime, your shop's probably so slow anyway.
Well, that was why we closed on Tuesdays this year. Yeah. That's like a big thing. We're closed on Tuesdays because it was so slow. But I feel guilty if we close and someone needs something. One fucking person, I feel guilty. Like, I've felt guilty about stuff like that for years. That's why I became a workaholic. And, I'm no longer married to my ex-wife. Part of it was just because all I did is work. Didn't make no money, but I worked my ass off all the time, and I was there all the time, and it didn't matter. Well, why do you got to stay until 7 o'clock? Why do you got to stay until 8? Because if that one kid comes in and needs a board or a pair of shoes, we're here. And he got them. And he's psyched. And if we're closed and he walks up and we're supposed to be closed, dude, that kid is bummed. And you bummed him out.
I think you can get away with a little bit of that these days because most people are they're going to check your Instagram anyway to see if you're open.
It's just different now, man. Yeah, you're 100% right. A lot of places,
random, like my buddy owned 50/50 skate park in Staten Island.
Yeah, okay.
And that place was so small, if he had a birthday party, it would be only the birthday party.
Yeah.
So he would basically put out his schedule, like, here's the sessions for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you just knew, like, if you're going to go there, just check the sessions that day because it always changes. And you could do that nowadays.
Yeah, with the social media and the stuff like that, with it, you really can. And we've done quick closes and little things. And like I said, the Tuesday, just being closed Tuesday was, like, big for us. Like, okay, what's the worst day of the week? All right, Tuesday. We'll close that day. We can do some work if we need to. Like last week, Alan and I went in and did some work in the shop. And then away we go. Back open. We limit the hours. Excuse me. It's just not. It's different with online now. It's just not the same. You don't need
Of course, yeah.
Don't need to be open all the time.
Well, can you give me one reason why someone should own a skate-related business and one reason why they shouldn't?
Awesome.
And this will be our last skate shop-related question before we're going to go into the second half. We're going to talk more about you personally. Normally I do it the other way, where we kind of build up resolution around the person, but I feel like Krudco is just amazing what you've done, and I just wanted to dive right into that.
Awesome. That's cool, man. Thank you. Oh, gosh. Why you should? Well, if your town, city, village, wherever the heck you live, man, if you're in a spot where you need and you see a need for it and you got a skate park or a small scene that's budding, you see a group of people, you got the little crew that's happening and you see a need for it and you think you can fill a void that's missing by opening your shop, bike shop, skate shop, any type of shop like that's in our world of the roller sports. I mean, if you see if it's there, open it. That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you to do. If you have the desire to do it and the guff to do it, go for it. You just want to make no money and just hang out all day? Yeah, open it up. You'll piss money away left and right. People get mad at you because you won't give them deals.
Ugh, dude, that's the friggin' the people that are your friends will come in and they want to buy it and they want to pay retail because they want to support you.
Yep.
And you find out pretty quickly who's not your friend because they just want the deal.
Yep.
What do you mean I have to pay to ride?
Yeah. What's that about?
I thought we were boys.
Yep. And that's part of it. That's the thing. Like if you can do that and you can deal with it, go for it. The reason's not to open it because you're not going to make no money. Everyone's going to ask you for deals. You're going to work longer hours than you ever thought you'd be working. If you don't work long hours and you don't go all in, it's not going to succeed. That's it. If you don't dive in, it's not. You can be like, well, I want to have a shop. I've seen 1 million shops open in town. Hundreds. I want a skate shop. Well, why do you want a skate? I just want a skate shop.
It'd be a fun project for a few years until I move
for
on
a
to the
few
next
years,
thing. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what happens. And if you're not just all in and say, fuck it, and that's what I did. I was all in. I said, fuck it. No matter what, ride or die, we're going to go in. And you make no money, you sacrifice everything, but damn, you can have a lot of fun. You can meet so many freaking people. So that stuff's cool, but the reasons not to, yeah, all those reasons are there too.
Yeah.
Long hours, no money. Everyone will be mad at you because you don't give them deals. Or, everyone will be mad at you because you gave so-and-so a deal and not that person a deal.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. There's more good reasons to open one than there isn't. It's just harder these days, though. I mean, every company goes direct to consumer, so you have that to deal with, too, on the side of not opening it. I mean, you can get everything you want on your phone within a day.
Also, with my idea earlier of the decentralization of these sports, it's no longer like I'm going to stock these 3 brands everyone loves and a couple things here and there. Now it's like everyone wants everything because everyone can see everything on the phone all the time. And like,
so
how many boards can you possibly afford to pay for?
Yeah, you can't cover every single brand. You can't even cover every single legacy brand for that matter.
Yeah,
because there's so many of those.
The margins on like the new decks that just came out from the good brands, the margins are so tight. I don't even stock
thin.
them.
No.
Like
you buy everything on sale.
If you want to buy, get the whatever it is, like the whatever Baker or whoever it is, the brand new decks just came out. It's like the shop is going to pay like almost $50 for the board
100%
nowadays.
or more.
And then if you mark it up more than like people are like $60.
Yeah,
it's like and they want free grip tape. So then it's like so if I sell you this, I'm going to make $8 after the shipping and my time.
Maybe $8.
Yeah.
You're paying what, $48 to $53 a deck now, depending on the brand for like the high end ones. It's crazy.
I just bought all those Heart Supply decks from Eastern.
Yeah, I know.
Saw that price?
Yeah, oh yeah. We almost grabbed some of those too. We had some in the cart.
I literally ordered every single one. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and you can sell them for what, $20?
Yeah, I mean,
$30
for 40.
Yeah, well, $40.
I thought about making a video about that. Like, hey, look, these things were on sale. They normally retail for like 40 or 50. They're, maybe they're discontinuing them.
Yeah.
Maybe the brand's not. Who knows why? But they're costing me $10 right now.
Yeah.
So this is a scenario where like, I get front a little money up. I'll put a little money up front now, and I can make a better margin on these decks over the next 6, 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
And then if I end up selling them on sale or I give away one in the contest, I know I'm in a good shape.
You're still in a good shape because you sell one of them and you've potentially paid for 5 to 6 of them.
Yeah, and those are like those opportunities are few, and like actually I'll tell you one thing that worked out really, really well for me is as I saw the COVID crash coming before most people did.
Yeah.
And I was like battening down the hatches when everyone was still like, this is great.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started ramping up the bike shop because I needed to supplement the seasonal business, right?
Yeah.
And then there was all the overstocks because COVID happened and then no one was buying anything. So I stocked out like my full bike shop with stuff for almost pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Like I bought your generic like 26-inch tires for like $2, $4, $8.
Yeah.
They were like 80% off, 70% off. It was like, and it's so dumb because these companies are blowing out these generic replacement parts just to replace them with the same generic replacement parts. And like, you don't realize that like, I'm not going to buy more of this from you because I'm going to stock up on it now when they're 70% off. And I'm only going to come back and buy those from you when I finally run out,
or if they're on sale again. And that's what the skate stuff was. We were doing the same thing when we watched the bubble going. The money was coming in, and we were just like, all right, hit the sale stuff. Always hit the sale stuff first.
Yeah.
It's the first place you go. And you look at the sale stuff, and you build from there. If they don't have the 8 1/4s, fine, you go somewhere. Then you got to pay normal money and you're not going to have the sale boards, but you'll still have some 8 1/4s, but you got a bunch of 8s, a bunch of 8 1/2s at like some really good margin prices.
Did you see those hazard wheels?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude.
I can't. Selling 101s in here is like useless for me.
Oh, no, it's horrible.
But I'm gonna have them and give them away.
Yeah, and that's it. Sell them for, just make your money back.
Ridiculous, dude.
You know?
I was like, what the hell?
Well, the company went out. There was so much stuff in the Dwindle world when Dwindle died, like got sold. They dumped everything, and that's seeing those prices is also telling of the skate industry right now, where they shot themselves in the foot after COVID.
Dude, everyone did. Scooter, bike, across the board, everyone did. Like Kink's lucky. It kind of like panned out. That fire kind of helped them.
Yeah.
But like
They seem to skate by a little bit better than some
Zach's
other
not
people.
dumb.
No.
But he was sitting on literally thousands of bikes they couldn't sell post-COVID.
Yeah, and then COVID hit and it all went.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude.
That was everybody, man. All the brands that were whack, like all the whack truck brands that no one wanted ever, like Tensor and Silver. All of a sudden, man, everyone was buying Tensors and Silvers because that was the only trucks you could get.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of these. Get them for, I think I was getting them for $8 a set. $40 a set all day, especially during COVID. What are you going to do? You had nothing else to get.
Yeah.
You know, we couldn't get anything else anymore either because everything was sold out.
Yeah. Another good one for you, picking up some pennies. I bought from Eastern Skate Supply some complete skate decks that had, like, the grip tape was messed up. They're saying, like, yeah, a great deal, but you got to re-grip it.
Yeah,
or
you got to
whatever.
re-grip it.
And I managed to just use the heat gun and get it back on.
Yeah,
and
you
work
heat
out.
gun it and just
It's like,
rub it back on with
like
the wheel.
You spend enough time, and that's the shit people like you and I do to make an extra
100%.
extra $5 here, extra $10 every day. You're like literally trying to pick up these pennies off the floor.
No, that's what it is. It's pennies on the dot. It's just pennies off the floor all day long, all week long, all year long. Where you're like, oh, dang, okay. Well, I'm going to save those cans. I'll take those cans back. I'll do this. I'll do that. Oh, well, I got to do, like you were saying, you fix the toilet. I was like, yeah, I laughed. I'm like, yeah, I'm a computer tech today because I got to fix this Bluetooth connection to make the printer work because I got to print these orders out and somehow the Bluetooth thing doesn't work now and I can't.
Dude, Elon Musk can get a rocket to get
and land.
But they can't make a printer that just works all the time.
No,
dude.
I know.
It's dude, I never.
It like disconnects. You're just like, it's not connected now. Why? What did it do? Dude, nothing. Nothing changed.
Yep.
I went home. It stayed on. I came back. It's disconnected.
PC load letter.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're at our halfway point in the show. And then basically at this point, I just picked two things that are in the news.
Oh, let's go newsy.
And we're basically, I bring up one, and you can choose to talk about it.
Oh, cool.
Or you could say pass. If you say pass, we have to talk about the second one, but you don't get to know it.
Let's go newsy.
So the first topic is going to be relative to the stuff that's happening in the Penfield schools. So very Rochester specific.
That?
So you don't even know?
No.
That's great. We're going to talk about that then.
All right, let's talk about that. I don't know anything about that.
So everything these days, in my opinion, is a political Rorschach test. So whatever happens, people are going to see it at whatever the issue they seem to want to see.
Yeah.
So the Penfield thing is really interesting because there's three things happening at once, and you're seeing different cohorts of people responding to whichever thing bothered them most. So one issue is apparently there was a student who identified as a cat, and the school allows this student to be cat-like, okay? And apparently this student was like rubbing up against the leg of another student like a cat would be, and this kid like pushed the person away or something, get away from me, and that person got suspended. So that student's grandfather went to the Penfield Town Board meeting, and that person wore a gorilla costume. Because he was trying to prove a point like, hey, like, why would you let someone be a cat? I'm going to wear a gorilla costume. But then everyone was like, oh, it's just he's racist because the superintendent's black. He was wearing a MAGA hat too, which didn't help the situation.
Oh, no, that didn't help his situation.
Now, simultaneously, there was this book in the school library that's like, the the Rainbow Parade or something. It's like a kid's
Okay.
book. It's LGBT, and there was like, it's not particularly explicit, but in one or two of the images, there's like these two dudes in like bondage wear, and someone who's like naked, but there's balloons around them, so they're not actually
Yeah.
naked. So there's a bunch of parents who are upset that that book. Apparently, I don't know what grade, some student brought that book home, and the parent was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Right? So most of the people were at the town board meeting because they're upset about the book or were pro the book. And then the gorilla guy was there related to the other issue. And then the whole thing exploded.
Oh my God, dude, this is like all the news in one place.
Yeah.
Like in
So-
one school board meeting.
So what I wanted to ask you
What?
is, if more kids were just skateboarding, would this ever even be an
No.
issue?
Oh, no,
Right?
definitely. Because, no, dude, no, they'd just be skateboarding and maybe they'd be mad about that. They'd go there because they want to put a skate park in or something. That's what the whole thing would be about. It'd be about a skate park and like having a skate park open, or why can't Dave open his skate park here because we need some permits, and let's get Dave his permits so he can open up this cool skateboard park in our town. Would just be skateboarding. This is a crazy world we're in right now, and people are just way too sensitive and freaking out and taking things way too. Wearing a gorilla suit? Like, I guess I kind of understand, but like, bro, you got to do some research before you go
Yeah.
and like just.
Well, I would have thought, okay,
Also,
if I
though-
was him, I would have wore a cat suit.
No, that's what I'm
Because
thinking.
it would have been almost like if a grown, it was a grandfather.
Yeah.
So if a grown man was wearing a fairly like kind of skimpy, like sexy cat
Yeah,
costume.
imagine sexy cat
Yeah,
grandpa.
that would like they wouldn't even let him in the goddamn building.
No.
And then he's
and
like,
he would have a good point.
and he's doubling down on both
Yeah.
issues at once. Although I don't know if he was familiar with the secondary issue.
No,
But
I don't think
holy-
he was even thinking about the book at that point. I don't know.
When
Wow.
Alan was on the show, we ended up talking about the first topic I brought up to him, but the second one was going to be similar to what I just asked you. I was
Yeah.
like, all these Kias have been stolen.
Yeah.
Like 2,700 cars last
Dude,
year or
it's
whatever.
crazy.
And my question was like, if these kids were skateboarding,
Oh, no, not
would
at
this
all.
be an issue? And
Maybe one or two would get stolen, but they would get driven to skate parks. You know? You'd know where to find them. They'd just be at the skate park. It'd be a lot better, you know?
that's so good.
I mean, I remember, yeah, they could do that, and then you just go skate. It'd be a way to get, if you were in the suburbs, say, and you couldn't get to the city, maybe you'd steal a Kia and drive to the city to go skate. Not giving anyone ideas. I don't condone stealing cars at all.
Someone in the chat just said they bought their first board from you in 2001 at Howell Street. It was an Enjoy Mark Johnson Pro model.
Oh, that's dope, man. Thank you. That's a rad one. Holy cow, that's an old time. That's long. Mark Johnson Enjoy board. Holy shit. That's rad.
2001.
Yeah, that too. That was around Scuff times. Scuff was going. Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Well, that was like the glory days
Yeah,
of
it was.
skateboarding, as you said earlier. 2001, I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And we had Blades boards and
Yeah,
skates
I know
in the
Blades.
mall.
Yeah, yep.
It's just crazy to think
You're
that,
down in Jersey?
yeah,
Yeah.
that there was like skate shops, and that was pre-NJ, but getting pretty close. to,
No,
like,
it was
the
getting
first
close to when
shop
NJ opened, but Blades was big. Blades Supreme. They were in New York City. What was it? Bikes, Boards, and Blades? No, just Blades. B3 was a skate park up in Buffalo.
Yeah, Niagara.
An outdoor one, the Niagara one. Yeah. That's where I got that from. But yeah, it was just a different time then,
Well,
man.
I remember I tell people that when they did, like, I don't know if it was X Games or Gravity Games or the other one, they did it in Love Park, and like
Yeah.
you could not skate Love Park. Well, I used to ride Philly a lot, and this would be from like maybe 03, 04.
I think it was the
to, like,
Gravity Games.
2012.
They did it down there.
And like there were some years you could skate Love Park,
then
but for
some
most of
years-
the time it was like the second you rolled in, they were like, "Get
Yeah.
the hell out!" But when they closed Love Park
Yeah.
and did a contest there. Like the idea of that happening now seems so preposterous.
Yep.
It's like easier for them to like build these freaking
Yeah, just
concrete
build these
parks
concrete ones and
then
tear
just-
'em down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, they did that. I remember Eric Costa did a nose slide down in, I think it's City Hall, because they had Love Park closed and they had City Hall area set up too. And he did a nose slide down that big curved rail.
My buddy Tanner just sent me this board, this old Vision board.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, that's a gator. Sketchball gator. The murderer rapist gator. That's an old board, man. I'm not blasting the board. I'm just blasting Mark Rogowski, the pro whose board that was. Yeah, dude, look at those copers on there. Yeah, those are trackers. Sick.
Oh, Brent's in the chat.
Oh, Red. What up, Brent? Yeah, that's dope. You don't see those boards no more, man.
Yeah, it's just crazy. The idea to think that there would be a big contest in Center City now seems so out there. Because you have these like 20-year waves up and down. You know, like there was like the 80s, then it wasn't there again. Maybe around like 99, 2000, it was like peaking up again.
Peaking out again. The Extremes.
Around 2010,
it
got pretty big again.
Yep.
And then we're just like way on a downturn. I think we're just getting like hammered by so many things. It's like the downtime, the downturn in the sports, the economy, the phones. It's like I think we're just kind of getting gangbanged by a lot of issues.
Oh no, we are 100%. There's no question about that, and it is a gangbang that's going on because of that. There's just not as many skaters.
It's crazy.
That's it. I mean, that's it right now. You have literally, you said it. The phone just takes so many people away from doing stuff, and I'm guilty of it too. I use my phone all the time, but like. The younger generation they're just not out there, you know. And
I blame the parents too.
No, and that's part of it because like I mean I'm also a parent of like teen kids now, and my kid's not running around like I was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like my oldest is like 14. Jesus, like he's not. He doesn't go cruising around and out at night, you know.
No,
like leaving the house when I go to bed.
Well, I think a lot of this comes from the early screen use. It's really like you set a pattern. My wife's son is like this. He's just kind of a wiener, and that's how it is. And I think it's like once you lay that foundation of this is my exploratory world, this is not going to be it anymore. And despite we don't have screens at our house anymore, he's just, I mean, he comes here, he'll sit there on the couch for 3 hours and just choose not to ride. He's just isn't. Yeah. It's crazy. And
no, like, I could see my oldest doing something like that at some point. You know, they're just different. Or my daughter, she'd be like, all right, nope, I'm going to do that. Give me my roller skates. Give me my bike. Give me my skateboard. I'll do this. My oldest and even my middle one, they're a bit more like risk averse.
Risk averse.
Risk averse. Where they're like, nah, I don't want to get hurt. Or they'll do it a little bit, but they won't dive into it.
Well, the thing is, I think again, this is like learned helplessness. It comes from the parents, but to some degree, we didn't know. Now the data is very clear that like you are in the long term hurting your kids by not letting them explore the real world, by always holding their hand, by putting the screen.
Being the helicopter parent.
You know, if you were raising your kids in that like probably 2010 through maybe 2020 range, I think you have a little bit of an excuse. Yeah. But like now, if you're like, I'd say my kid, like.
Oh yeah, with your daughter, right?
Yeah, Alice, she's awesome. I think.
How old is she? If you don't mind.
She'll be.
Whatever.
Well, there's no 30th this month, but if there was a 30th, she'd be 11 months.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
a little different now.
Now, if you do it, I think it's really on you. It's like you're just. The data's so clear. Yeah. Everyone agrees it's an issue, but what I see over and over is parents are just unwilling to just.
You don't want to fight with your kid. They don't want to fight with their kid either, and have their kid scream at them. I saw a mom doing it at gymnastics the other day.
Well, I'll tell you what. This was at the end of one of the books I read about parenting and stuff. I don't remember which one it was, but it basically says you can choose. No, it's not choice. You either get to be friends with your kid when you're a kid, or you get to be friends with your kid when they're an adult, and you don't get both. Nope. You know, because if you try to be too friendly with your kid and you don't discipline them, they're going to be not great adults. Yeah. It just sucks. A lot of people don't want to pull off the Band-Aid and
you gotta pull off the Band-Aid. You gotta be a parent. You gotta yell at your kid. You gotta scold your kid when they screw up. You gotta call them out when they're being dumb, doing something stupid. You gotta tell them, you know. You gotta say, don't do that. That's not right. Or you got to do this. You have to try that. Try doing this. I don't care if you get hurt. I don't care if you don't like it. That's fine. Just try it.
I think that these sports are easily defined as a realm of positive masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
Which feels weird to talk about in the modern ecosystem of social whatever. But it's either toxic masculinity or nothing, right?
Yeah.
And skate parks and skate culture blurs this line between bullying and teasing and encouragement, right? And we're way too bully sensitive. I always joke and say that I'm pro-bullying. I'm obviously not pro-bullying, but like if you're at the skate park and the older guys are kind of busting your balls and you end up dropping in and trying the trick and whatever it is, right? You do the backflip, whatever.
Yep.
When you get older, you're going to think back to when you were at Extremes. Those older guys, you know, they were kind of jerks, but like you're going to look up to them like those dudes were legends, man. I wouldn't be the person I was. But if you don't buck up, if you're more like the softer Parrington kids.
Yes.
and you're like, "Oh, that's just bullying. I don't have to do that stuff." You're going to see those people and just think they were dicks.
Yeah, cuz that's how you're going to view it. You're going to view them as dicks to you and dude, yeah, there was so much ball busting over the years and
again, this is I think it's really personifies positive masculinity action sports here because it's like it's you and your board and you are trying to balance the fear, the risk assessment. It's your progression as you choose. You know
at your speed.
You carry as much as you want to throw over your shoulders to do. You know, you want to film a part, like I'm going to do it. You better commit to it. And if you don't, if your buddy says he's going to film a part and he's not getting the clips and you're like, yo, dude,
you
like
bust their balls.
End of summer's coming. You either got to get clips or you're out.
Yeah, or
bro.
you're not going to,
like,
and that's it. You're going to bust their chops. You're going to call them silly names. You're going to make fun of them for not landing the trick or maybe not finishing their part. If they don't, you're going to push them.
Yes.
And if older folks know it and know about the ball busting and the pushing and the shit, it's fucking shit talking.
It is.
You're going to get shit talk. That's how it works. Like I've watched kids grow up with it at the shop for 30 fucking years. And you watch someone like Dano bust someone like Raekwon's balls for years and everything's fine. They're friends. Nothing bad came of it. They grew as people.
Yeah, I think we could be a little more sensitive about maybe some of the words we choose.
Oh, yeah.
Like coming from Jersey, it was really common to say faggot in Jersey. That was just, and when I moved up here, like I didn't even think anything of it. And as soon as I moved up here, like I had friends that were like, yo, dude. And I was like, I never really thought about it, you know? And I was like, oh, you're right. I should stop doing that, you know?
And there are things like that. And you get corrected when you come to a different place and that's fine. You know, but words are words and words can hurt sometimes, yes. But in the end, they're just words.
Words will never hurt as much as a pebble in just the right spot or the wrong spot, actually.
No shit. And that's it. There has been a softening, but you know, like you were saying, like not using certain words, you know, like
any derogatory slur stuff needs
any of the ones that you can think of.
There's no space for that in these sports. That needs to be gone. And we need to,
you can just call it. You can just say you're a fucking shithead. Like just do that. You don't have to call them the R word or a faggot or whatever. You know, any other derogatory word.
Retarded's back, all right.
Oh, okay. So
that was an executive order, I think.
Oh, okay. So retard's back. All right. So, well, not mentally challenged or mentally handicapped people, but we know who the real retards are. Oh my God. Okay. Amazing. Anyway.
But one thing I'm trying to do with this podcast is it's more implicit. Is I'm trying to extract out from people that are involved in these sports how that positive masculine ethic translated into the real world and translated into success or determination or that, you know,
it's
being a good parent or whatever it is. Like it manifests so many different ways for so many different people. And a lot of it's, you know, it's really similar to like, I'm not stopping till I get the clip or till I land the trick.
You're tenacious. You just go until you're done or until you can't go anymore. You know, you grow up, you get your balls busted, you get your chops busted for screwing up or, you know, just because I grew up working in a garage, in a car garage. My dad owned one of those. That's where I grew up. So all I did is heard people busting chops all day. And it was Benetton in there. There was there was a Native American guy there. There was black guys, like an Irish dude, a couple Italian guys, Puerto Rican guy. So we had everybody. There was all sorts of people I grew up with, and everybody busted each other's balls equally, made fun of each other for whatever, your ethnicity, your eyes, how big you were, how short you were, how tall you were, how good you were at fixing the car, how bad you were, It was just chop busting constantly, and it was like motivational.
That's a very like male thing though. Like men really test each other by
it's great.
How much can I? How many buttons can I push before you break? And if you don't break, like all right, you're part of the crew.
Yep.
You go on a skate trip.
Yeah.
Whoever's the newbie, first guy, that dude is gonna get it the whole
it's so
trip.
bad. Yeah.
And if he deals with it next time he comes around, all right, you're part of the crew.
Yeah. You're good.
I remember I went on this trip with this crew from Jersey, and we went to Baltimore. It was like DC, Baltimore, maybe DC, Baltimore, DC.
Yeah.
And man, they were just digging into me to the point where like it was over. And Jersey people are relentless.
Oh no,
in
yeah,
Jersey.
I bet.
And I was like, I wasn't having it. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And I slept on the street in Baltimore that night rather than like we were gonna sleep in this dude's truck anyway.
Yeah.
So I just like put the bike between my legs on the waterfront in Baltimore and just like slept in the grass, like whatever.
Yep.
Just kind of get my leg through the middle of the top.
Yeah,
tube
so no one could steal it. Yeah, heck yeah.
It was like
that was
story
it.
time.
That's funny. But yeah, you gotta. I just feel that builds like character and that puts like a drive in you to just go and, you might, and just kind of take it and not complain too much.
Yeah.
You just got to kind of, because who are you going to complain to? I mean, I'll go through a bitch fest and just be like, blah, 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 blah. But in the end, when you got to just really get down and grind, you just got to get down and grind, man. There's nothing's going to stop you, to do what you got to do. You get the orders in, you get the place painted, you get the taxes done, you get payroll made, you get the ramp fixed, whatever you got to do, you got to do it.
It's about experience and the stories, right? And when you skate or ride any hobby that really brings you to like DIY and travel, you are going to have some stories.
Yep.
And I feel like far too many kids now are going to be like, oh, like I slept on the street in Baltimore or did blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, well, I saw this really cool meme once.
Yeah, it was a meme. I watched a Fortnite concert.
Or it's like, oh, I made a meme once that went kind of viral. Like,
that's where that's going to be. You're not going to find them.
Weird.
And it's like, it's wild though. Cause
kids these days.
I want my kid to do that, but I'm also like, it's a fucked up world now too. There's crazy shit, but maybe it isn't.
It isn't. No, that's like people think it's like worse than ever, but by almost every metric, if you look at it, it's objectively better in every way. It's just the news just has been sensationalizing everything, and it's monetized to get as much views. So you think there's more murders and more rapes and more whatever. If you read the Free Range Kids book, or Steven Pinker's book, Enlightenment Now, which is a massive book. It is the most like bullish book you'll ever read. Like we've come so far in so many ways. Like there's so many reasons to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many people are nihilistic.
Yeah, and I try not to be too, especially like the kids changed all that. The kids give you a really good positive spin on everything.
Oh yeah.
You're living for them. And that gets stressful, where you're just like, dang, dude, I can't let you down.
How old are your kids again?
I'm so bad. I want to say...
You give me estimation.
9, 11, and 14.
Did you say 9/11?
Yeah, 9, 10, 11. Just about 9. Dun, dun, dun.
Shout out Kevin Dane Willard in the chat.
Yeah, what up? Hey, Willard. Yeah, so... I got a 3. They're all 3 years apart, spread out. 2 boys and a girl. It's crazy.
What's the living situation like? You don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. Like,
oh no, I split them with their mom, so I have them half the time.
Left and right or top and bottom?
Oh, in my house, it's top and bottom.
The kids.
Oh Jesus Christ! No, they well, the boys got a bunk bed, so it's top and bottom.
It's like weekends, weekdays, like.
Yeah, I got them during the
week. So
you
get all 3 and then none?
I get all 3 and then none, yeah. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's crazy as that sounds, but like...
Mayhem and then quiet.
Yeah.
Mayhem and then quiet.
And then,
are they all boys or are these one girl?
No, two boys, 1 girl.
Okay.
So it is mayhem and quiet. But the like I said, the girls more mayhem than the boys. The boys play video games and are quiet. But like, you know, in the summer, my oldest and stuff just wants to fish. That's all he wants to do.
Oh, interesting.
Go out on his boat and go fishing. He's got a boat. I don't have a boat.
Okay. Weird.
Fuck, man. He got good grades in school. He got a boat. What am I going to do? It's a little boat, but he's got a boat. He can go fishing whenever he wants now. I can't say shit.
All right, well, this kind of worked good. We kind of work it into your life a little bit here.
Hell yeah.
So, how did you get into skateboarding? I think you said it was about 92.
That was the shop and stuff. I got into skating like 86.
And how old were you then?
12.
Okay.
12, because I was
Wait,
born
so-
in 74.
Whew, you're old.
Yeah, 51.
Damn.
Yep. So that was, I got into it then because it was kind of the thing. You know, the neighborhood kids were doing it, and I just moved to that. I just moved out to Hilton or North Greece and was starting to go to Hilton High School. And the kids in the neighborhood, like the friends that I made, were like, yo, we got skateboards now. And I was like, well, that's cool. I want a skateboard too. So I went to KB Toy Store. My mom picked me out a skateboard with me. I got my Viper plastic skateboard. I got one at the shop right now. So I got my first Veriflex. No, it wasn't a Makaha. It was a Makaha Viper. Yep. And then that was like 86, and I rode that around until I got good enough grades to get a real skateboard, a wooden one that wasn't from a toy store. I got it from Track and Trail. It's where Subway is on Monroe Avenue now. It used to be Track and Trail there. That's where I got my first skateboard. It was a Mike McGill, Paul Peralta. It was an XT. Black Gullwing trucks and Vision Blur swirl wheels. Yeah, that was my first one. God, I do not want that skateboard. I don't even know. I had to get the McGill. I don't like it though. But I got it and I rode it and that's where it started. So I probably had my first real one in like 87.
So what was skateboarding like in 87? It was all like kind of flat ground tricks?
For us in the neighborhood, it was pushing around a bunch, but we had a tennis court and basketball court in the neighborhood. So for us, it turned into jump ramps and parking curbs where
Okay.
we made jump ramps and just left them in the basketball courts and the tennis courts because we were the local neighborhood kids and we didn't play basketball. We skateboarded in it. So we just left our ramps there. We dragged in the parking curbs from the parking lot, set those all up, and that was it. It was parking curbs and jump ramps in the 80s. And we were damn good on jump ramps. Then someone built a mini ramp, and we would skate down to this kid, Kevin Frederick's mini ramp at his grandma's house. And that's everyone would hang out down there from the Grease scene. It was crazy. There was a lot of people that I didn't know. And then some that I made friends there, a couple guys, this guy John, one other guy who I don't remember anymore, and Kevin Fredericks, and we skated a lot with those guys. And it just went, you know, the scene grew from there, and, you know, skateboarding evolved and changed. And then the 80s took a dive, you know, the 90s hit, and skateboards turned into little footballs. Early 90s came up, and no one cared about skateboarding then. And I still skated a little bit, but I probably took like a year off when I got my license and a lot of other like personal shit went on. I took like a year off. But I always kept my board in my car. So I'd always make sure I could kickflip or do like a 1-footer and, you know, drive around and whip out my board every once in a while and skate. And back in high school, my buddy in 92, I think I took a break from probably like 91 to 92 or 90 around then, and didn't really pay attention to skateboarding. And the questionable video was the one that came out from Plan B that in 1992 that I saw and was completely blown away. Like, okay, I remember this now. This is how skateboarding should be. It was completely insane. It was completely new and revolutionary as far as videos go. And that pushed me back in 100% full bore. Like, okay, fuck this, dude. I'm skating all the time again. You know, I don't care if I got a car and can drive. I want to ride my skateboard 2 more. And that was my friend Jeremy got me back into it. No, not Jeremy Everett. That's another Jeremy. But anyway.
Did you know about the skate stuff that was at Darien Lake back in the day?
I didn't
or was
know
that a
about
little
it
bit
then.
later?
No, I heard about that later. You know,
It was probably gone by then.
Yeah.
I remember I was looking at the old historical aerial photos, and it was only there for a few years. So
yeah, it was all those
gone.
cement parks like that. Those tube parks. They didn't last very long. It didn't seem. That was like a
Yeah.
real short-lived window of skateboarding in the late 70s before the the little downturn, and then the Bones
Yeah.
Brigade 80s, Santa Cruz 80s, Vision Streetwear 80s hit when that new boom happened with the Soy and Hawk and all that. Yeah, I've only ridden on the log flume and seen where the park was.
That's
you can
not where
still
the park was. I looked at it. So
No.
someone commented that, and I
Yeah.
went looking through all the old photos, the aerial photo. I did like
Yeah.
a bunch of research.
Awesome.
I love looking at old photo
Yeah.
stuff, and I know what it looks like. There's like a concrete thing underneath that flume or whatever, but it's not in the same area of the park. It was like up in the corner.
Oh, cool.
In hindsight, I probably could have made a video about that specifically, but yeah, it was torn out before most of the rides
Before
were
most
even
of it was
there.
built, yeah.
There is an old historical map. I forget, maybe it was 72 or 76, and you can just clearly see
everything.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And over part of it was like one of those rides where you kind of like just like float with the lazy river kind of thing.
Yeah.
That ride also closed like years and years ago. But
No shit.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just a cool feature that like they put into like parks. Like, oh, we got a skate park here too.
Yeah.
Like,
Not anymore.
How neat. Yeah, no, definitely not anymore. Jesus.
Well, you were talking about the ebbs and flows of skateboarding and this and that. So, I've been in this game since like the early 2000s. You've been in it for even longer.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it seems like it's almost more about fashion than it is about skating. And I don't mean fashion purely in just clothing, but in a lot of more than just clothing, and style and music and what tricks people do, how they do them, right? And there's been so many trends that have come and gone. And as a skate shop owner, you obviously have to be in touch with those things because you have to be able to capitalize them, whether you like them or not, but you have to capitalize them and sell whatever's cool at the moment. So in your opinion, what has been like the best and worst trends? And as a third one, like, was there one trend or another that you just was like, that's the trend that I made money on?
Oh yeah.
That's probably just the shoes though, right?
Oh dude, there's a bunch of different shoes. The shoe trend wise, goodness. But a lot of I'm gonna work it backwards. One trend that we cashed in on 100% were tight pants.
Crew jeans, baby.
Fuck yeah, bro. Andrew Reynolds jeans and Maddox pants. Holy crap.
My buddy used to steal so many pairs of those pants from Zoomies.
Yeah. It's insane. We sold so many pair, 30 for 60. Buy them for 30, sell them for 60. Holy shit. And that was one of the things where we were like, yep, we're in. We're
that
in
was
on
the
this.
era. Shoelace belt, tight jeans, plain white t-shirt, Nikes.
Horrible. Horrible. Dude, those pants were horrible. Never wore those. No. I was more of a bootcut guy myself. Equally horrible. But it wasn't a peg type pant because I just don't like peg pants.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was not into them, but I was into selling the shit out of them. And we did. Again, that was one of the worst trends too. But I was into it. Other bad trends that we did as skaters, that the small wheels and big pants. And I got in when I opened the shop, I was just at the tail end of that.
Big pants are so back.
Big pants are back. They're big time. And that was another thing that we did get back into again when the big pants hit. Again, I dove in on that. I was like, yo, I'm down. And I don't like overly big pants. I just want like pants, little baggy. I fluctuate. I got a couple different widths and stuff that I wear myself. But yeah, we went in on the big pants again. But when I opened, I was just on the tail end of the real big pants thing and small wheels. And we were just opening and just starting up with some of the best looks, which was khakis and white t-shirts and like white suede sneakers with like black soles, stuff like that. Like that was a really good look, really clean style, a little bit of hip hop in it, but more just clean khakis and white t-shirts. It looked good back then.
The chat's loving the bootcut pants.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
rock finger
Maddox
boards.
Miners. That's what I wore. Miners from Maddox. I wore a shitload of those.
Kevin Willard said he had the Chris Cole pants.
Yeah, those from the Fallen ones. Those.
I had
tight.
the Fallen hoodies. I had like,
dude, those striped
I had
hoodies.
The purple striped one, the red striped one.
Dude.
I had the green one. I think I probably stole all of them from Zoomies. To be honest, I never.
That's
paid
good.
for
That's
any of those
good.
things.
I'm not condoning stealing from any place, but the kid in me says that's good.
I still have one of them in my closet. I think it's the red one,
Red and black.
the red and black Fallen one. Yeah.
Dude, they sold so many of those. Those Fallen hoodies, those crew sweatshirts that zipped up over your face, the Tara Kennedy ones.
Those Fallen hoodies were pretty durable.
They were
nice
good.
Hoodies.
They
were
made
well
that
made.
was a time when skate brands. Some people may say otherwise that are from the industry, but I felt like as a shop owner, we were making some pretty good gear as an industry. Maddox was making some good jeans. Crew was making their stretchy jeans, really doing it well. It was just a basic Gap jean, though. It was a girl's Gap jean. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was made into Andrew Reynolds Pro Jean, and it sold like hotcakes. And then Maddox with their denim, they had a good denim program. They made really good hoodies. And Fallen hit the clothing brands, like hit it real hard. They had good jeans, good uppers too, and they made good shoes. You know, almost every brand was doing it pretty good. I don't know how.
Were you into the big shoe era?
Oh, yeah, I had some puffy shoes. Oh, yeah, man. I put extra tongues in my shoes.
I rode the Globe Chet 4s.
Oh, yeah,
for
those
years.
were real big.
Kept tracking them down. I loved that one pair.
Yeah.
And then I bought the pair when they
reissued them. Yeah.
And I never wore them. I ended up selling them on eBay like a couple of years later.
Made some money on them?
I might have even bought them from you.
No.
I might have bought them online. I don't know.
No, I never had the Chet 4s. I know the shoe and we had Globe before, but I can't say I never, but I don't think we ever sold any of the Chet 4s like that. That was like the one-piece collar. It was a full-blown integrated booty. Yeah. I love the integrated booty shoes. Yeah. You just foot goes in that and it's like.
I love the big shoe era because from riding BMX, you want
you want a protection.
Foot, yeah. And it's funny when skating went the other way for a while and it was like people getting really minimalist, like bands slip on. You got good feel. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to break your toes,
break your toes off.
Yeah.
And that's something we had a hard time because we sold to BMX guys too. And we sold a lot of Fallens to BMX guys. Yeah. And it was like a Jamie Thomas cup sole that had padding on the top, had a padded tongue, had a decent collar, your foot's protected. I never got into the slip-on thing. Like Kevin absolutely loves the slip-ons and has no issues with it and shreds.
He wears minimalist shoes and super loose trucks, and he's just so good. It doesn't even matter.
It's just oozing, just cruising around in like slip-ons, and you're like, dude, how do you not kill your feet? But he's been wearing them for ever at this point.
So you gave me some of the worst ones. What was the best one?
Oh, the best trends? Oh, damn. Again, the tight pants were cool, but big shoes. The shoe thing, Nike, when Nike hit and the Dunks hit, and that wasn't even necessarily skate, but it was in the skateboard world, and the SBs were hitting, and we had lines, and we were just selling shoes to these weird non-skater people who I'm friends with to this day, a whole bunch of them. But it was just a whole new crowd, and that just put extra money into skateboarding that we had never seen. So for us,
that's when shop, things are really good. Is when money's coming into the sport from outside of the sport. Of it,
and that's when
riders get paid.
Yeah, and that was when everyone was getting paid at this point. Those were good times. It was a good trend. I mean, then other good trends were like the Muska boards. When Chad Muska came on the scene and Shorty's Muska boards, red and white Muska boards. Any color Muska silhouette deck. It was amazing. People asked for it all the time. We were psyched. Getting Muska boards. Yeah, we got some more Muska boards coming. Got some more Element boards. That was another one, the Element trend. Not the BAM trend, but the Element trend in general that kind of happened before BAM got on and everything. And, the BAM trend was kind of annoying. World Industries trend was kind of annoying. Even though we should have been making money on it, and we did make a little bit on it, but we never dove into certain ones, where we were just like, no, I don't want to deal with those people right now. And that was to our detriment to like maybe back off of certain things, like when World Industries, everyone was asking for those, like Devilman and Flame Boy and Wet Willie. Oh, God. Yeah. Even to this day, I'm like, my buddy runs World Industries now, this guy, Anthony Shetler, who's an old friend of ours. But back then, man, I just couldn't. I felt like I was too old, and like we should have just been selling them. Alan and I should have just been buying World Industries Wet Willie Flame Boy boards and selling them all day. But we were both of us, and anyone that was involved in the shop was like, "No, don't get those. Don't buy the World boards." And that's one thing that we missed out on that I didn't like, but it could have been good. So that's kind of like all three of them in one with that thing, with those boards. But
Right, given all the years and the trends that have come and gone, everything you've done with Krudco, all the stuff you've done, you've had a tremendous impact on the Rochester skate scene. It might not even exist without you guys. And being in the scene for this long, you've probably had a pretty significant impact on overall skateboard world, right? More broadly. So like with all of that and all this time and all these things that have come and gone, what are you personally most proud of that
that's hard.
your brand has done?
I guess the thing that I would say that I'm most proud of with the shop and like what it's done is brought attention to Rochester and given people that like travel something to connect to back home.
That's a great answer.
Like if you go, dude, you just, people that are watching this, y'all might have experienced it where you go out somewhere, you got a Crud shirt on, and someone's like, yo, Krudco, blah, 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 Rochester. Or you go to a bar. This was something that happened to a guy in New York City. Went to New York, living down there in the skateboard world, came through us, knew people down there. We sent him down to, here's some people. This is our friend, blah, blah, blah. I'll just leave names out right now. Nothing bad, but just because. But either way, he's waiting in line at a club, had a F Winter shirt on, Krudco F Winter shirt. Bouncer, yo, boom, let's go. Straight in. Krudco, blah, 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 Rochester, you're cool. Let's go to the front of the line. Like stuff like that. That's awesome. Dude, we're a stupid skateboard shop in Rochester. You wear a shirt and you're in Germany and you get into a fucking club or something, or you see some other person from Rochester in an airport. Just the connections that we've made.
Yeah, that's huge.
Just connecting people together.
The amount of people I see wearing Krudco stuff that clearly don't skate is pretty impressive. The overall impact you've had. And my question was skate scene specific the way I framed it, but it actually is broader than I even realized. So that's awesome.
That's it. Is just the connections and the bringing people together and the bringing the Rochester, to the world. Like I always say, like Hilton is everywhere. Like people from Hilton.
They are everywhere.
We're fucking everywhere, bro.
Oh my God, 100%.
We're literally fucking everywhere. At one point, we ran the skate scene here because it was me and it was Taylor, and he was in Hilton too. He was in my fucking high school, so it was like. But it's like Crud is everywhere. Like we're all over the place. Someone that's had a connection to the store, We've touched. Millions. I would feel millions of people's lives.
For sure.
Have come through. And we've, for the better or for worse, we've been around and we've touched them and like, they got a story or a something, a connection, and that can give two people traveling in an unfamiliar place, like a connection and like, someone to talk to, some help, anything, just that connection. So there you go. That was a long, short answer.
No, it's a great answer. Now, I personally know about the duality of running a small skate-related business. The ups, the downs, the stress, the seasonal nature of the business is something that very few people can stomach.
Yeah.
It's something that definitely takes a toll on me. There's times where I've been better with it and worse with it. In the first half of the show, I asked you about Krudco's highest and lowest moments.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you of your own. And were those moments the same with the skate park? With the skate shop, or were there times like the skate shop was doing well, but you're not doing well with it, or the inverse?
Yeah, there's some of the best time. Like the shop was killing it when I was going through a divorce. That shit sucked. Personal life was just a fucking wreck. You'd catch me, the employees were working, And you might catch me in a fucking... I had to, like, leave multiple times because I couldn't sit as a ball on the fucking floor and smoke cigarettes because I was a wreck because of all the shit that I was... Like, I had to just leave the store. Like, I've had, you know, the people working for me were like, you got to go. You can't... You can't sit there and cry and be a fucking mess because this, that, or the other third's going on. You can't just sit in the corner and chain smoke either. You got to get the fuck out of here. So, like, stuff like that was pretty low point, you know, for me in my personal life and just trying to deal with it, not dealing with my business in that very well. But at that point, I had some really good support and some really good people working for me that helped, you know, push me away and run the business the right way so I could gather myself and then go back into running it. So yeah, that shit was... The shop was killing it, though. Everyone was getting paid. There was money coming in. The bills were all done. You know, the scene was blowing up. And I'm just dealing with my personal stuff. But that's, you know, there's crossover. You know, and I've been an asshole to people before because of something that happened somewhere else. You know, and it didn't mean to happen. But it happens, and all of a sudden that one day that Aaron's a dick to me. You know? It's like, dude, you had no idea that my dog just died in an hour, you know, or it wasn't that, but, you know, something happened or, you know, because your personal life and your business, they're intermingled. So a lot of stuff, you know, gets dragged in. My kids were raised, like, in the store.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, over it. They're like, yeah, do we got to go there again? That sucks, but at the same point, you're like, yeah, I can't blame you all the time. You didn't dive into skateboarding, and I didn't force skateboarding on them. But it's always there, and they can ride around and stuff and do it. But at the same point, you know, it kind of hurts. They're like, well, how long do we got to stay there for? How long do we got to go to the shop for?
The rest of your life.
Forever, you little fuckers. But... so that was some of the worst things for me personally, and the shop was killing it. And, I mean, there's been other times where the shop is not doing so well, and my personal life was absolutely wonderful, you know? But it, you know, there's always ups and downs with it, and some days it all mingles together where, you know, life is killing it, and the shop is killing it, and you can leave and maybe go on a day trip and not worry about work, and, you know, everything is taken care of. And those are good days, good feelings. And then there's other times where you go away and you're like, you know, your old lady is like, why can't you sleep right now? I was like, I'm just thinking about this, and this, and stressing about that, and that. That sucks, but what are you going to do? You just got to keep going with it.
Yeah.
You know, it goes away. The problems get dealt with. And in the end, does it really matter? Are you still open? Yep.
Yeah. I often tell people or give them a little advice that don't take your favorite thing and make it your life, make it your career, make it your passion. I say take your second or third favorite thing and dive into it.
Do that.
Because otherwise you're going to kind of suck the life out of your favorite thing. And I see that you're still skating. People tell me they see you at the park all the time, and I admire that for sure. People always ask me how, like, you stay here late and ride? I'm like, no, I go home.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have the same, like, burning passion to ride and skate. I used to skate a lot too.
Yeah, I remember.
And, when I go somewhere else, though,
yeah,
I bring my bike and my skateboard wherever I go on vacation.
Yeah.
I do it, right? So, I don't know. Has it sucked some of the joy out of it for you?
Yeah.
Or like,
oh, yeah. No question. 100%. Especially nowadays. Like, I'm tired, man. It's like...
I mean, you're also 50. That's tough.
Yeah, it is. But it's just the same thing for 30 years. More than 30 years. Skateboarding in general. Like, having the shop has definitely, like, taken some of the joy out of skateboarding. That's for sure. As weird as that sounds. And I'm sure there's some shop owners that'll tell you the exact opposite of it. But I bet a lot of them will say the same thing.
It's just like raising kids. You know, it takes away a bunch, but it adds a bunch to it. Everything's a trade-off.
Yeah, it really is. And just try to find the balance as to what you like and what you don't, and how much you're willing to, how many days are you going to go without skating? How many days can you go without skating? Does it matter if you skate every day? No, you don't have to skate every day. You know, and I've come to a conclusion in my life where I'm like, I don't have to skate every day. But when I do skate, I'm going to skate. You know, and I'll maybe get hurt, at least fall down, put forth some effort, you know. I don't want to get hurt. I don't mind falling.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get hurt.
Well, falling's just like riding. You have to continue to fall to be good at
going,
falling. Yeah. To have that kind of flexibility in the bones and the joints to take the slam. And that's the thing about skating is the slam's always there.
Yeah, it's
like
just waiting.
In bikes, you can like digress to mellower versions of cycling that are you still got the wind in your hair.
Yeah.
On skating, man, that one pebble can always ruin your day.
It ends your day.
The one sidewalk crack you didn't realize was there. Like
when you're too cocky and you're just pushing down the street and like looking over there and just like, yeah, dude, boom, and you're down. Done that before.
Oh yeah. I was once. I had longboard trucks and longboard wheels on a normal popsicle deck.
Yeah.
And I was cruising down Monroe Ave.
Yep.
I was crossing Meg's.
Yep.
And my foot clipped the wheel.
Oh, dude, you kicked it.
And I was like, like like a freaking torpedo.
Yeah.
And luckily, my backpack like swung around and landed like under my head.
Oh, awesome.
But like in the middle of the intersection, I just like. And then you like pop up quick because your board's rolling down
the street and you're in traffic. And if you don't get your board, someone's gonna grab it and run off with it. Oh, dude, I slammed on Monroe Ave too. Similar concept, just not paying attention, skating down the street, and there was a hole, you know, where a little manhole was, like just about that big though, and it was missing, and like went right, and I just didn't even see it. They had no idea. Next thing you know, I'm on the ground. Just straight up. Boom.
Right after that fall, I ended up buying a deck from you. I bought the Black Flag one.
Oh, yeah,
the big cruiser.
Yep.
I went in there. I think Potter was working. He was kind of a dick, to be honest.
Yeah. Sorry.
He was like super uninterested in me being there. I was like, all right, cool, dude. But then I loved that. I used that as my filmer for so long and cruiser. And I used to actually, once in a while, I'd skate to the bar.
Yeah.
Instead of riding my bike to the bar, because the ride home on the skateboard would be a good time.
No, it was always more fun riding home from the bar.
You're like, I should have brought a light. What am I gonna do? Hold it? Whatever.
Nah, you don't need lights.
So surely you're wiser now in your old age.
Yeah, I like to think I am.
Definitely wiser than when you started the
yeah, I'll say that.
Krudco
I am wiser than when I started the store. Yeah.
Back in '92.
Yep. No, 94.
Sorry, '94. Would you rather have the energy you had then now, or have the wisdom you have now back when you started the business?
Damn. That's a tough one. I would say I'd rather have the wisdom then. Really. Because I think with the wisdom then you could maybe get some more energy somehow.
Make some smarter decisions. Put some money away.
Put some money away. Yeah. Shit like that. That would really lay it out. Like to just have a little bit of a better future. Like just think about the kids and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm not working 3 jobs when I'm 51. That'd be cool.
That's one thing I've done pretty well. I'm like super, super frugal. My father was really frugal.
Yeah.
He taught me to be pretty good with money. So despite not making money, I'm not in like a horrible situation. Although, making as little money as I've had the last 2 or 3 years, I'm slowly like eating away at what I did have saved.
Yeah. That's a downer.
That's
I was
tough,
Yep.
I'm like trying to get back to that. Like if I could make 20 grand a year, I could be sustainable.
I was good when I was doing 19, 20 a year. Yeah. I was in a better spot, and it hasn't been there. I've been in. Yeah, it's funny. People getting the deets right now on the how much money we make. Oh, so rich.
What kills it for me is like it's like. As I was saying in the last episode, I'm bringing home, 200 grand. Or sorry, I'm bringing home 200 grand. No, the skate park's bringing in 200 grand. It used to be much more than that. The COVID year, I brought in almost $300,000. But when your lease is $120,000, like, it's like crazy. You have all these sales, and you go to the bank depositing all this money, and you're like, "Where is it?"
It's all gone.
It's just gone.
Yep.
It's just gone.
It just goes away.
It's gone.
Yep. I remember, the faster you put, it's real though, man. The more money, more problems thing is real. It's not necessarily more problems, but like it goes away. You're still sitting here like this,
Yep.
you know. There's more bills to pay. You're buying more stuff. You know, like you said, you still got a $120,000 freaking rent.
And the taxes are tough because it's like,
Yeah.
well, I could take more money in payroll and then get taxed harder, maybe lose my health insurance, or I could reinvest that money back into the business. Then I don't get to make anything, but then it's almost like a gamble.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the long
hire
game.
someone, and that's money I could have taken, but then it might free up so you're like trading off. Is it worth being able to go on a date with my wife once a week versus paying for this person to be here?
I've done that,
especially for me because
so
I'm
many
open in the
times.
evenings. Like
Yeah.
I'm here, like
When
I said
it's going
earlier,
out time.
There's about 3 nights from mid-November till the end of March. There's about 3 nights I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so your hours are you're at date time, you know.
Yeah.
You're working during date time.
Or the time and
Anytime.
weekends. So
Yeah.
anything that's cool that's ever happened.
Oh no, that's the weekends. Dude.
Yep, never.
Like, oh, it's Saturday. Everything's Saturday. I'm like, yeah, I work all day Saturday.
It's like, hey, you going down the Canal Side skate jam? No, I'm going to be sitting at the skate park.
sitting in here working.
Yep.
Like that, yeah, the same thing. Sunday's the only weekend day, and like I've worked for that one for a long time. So I'll take my Sundays, but like I worked every Friday. I work Thursday all day. I work Friday, Saturday all day. You know, so Thursday and Saturday I'm there all day from 1 to 6. You know, Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays I'm just in the mornings. I'm 1 to 3, and then Alan does the other days. And the other time, and then Tuesday, once summer hits, we're gonna have to figure out Tuesday. You know, but it's like I get my kids on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I gotta pick them up from school. I gotta do all the the dad stuff and the school stuff. And Wednesday there's gymnastics, so I gotta get one to gymnastics. And it's like, man, I gotta take care of the kids too. So, but yeah, I've gone on dates. I've gone traveling with my girl, and I'm like figuring out how much it's costing me an hour.
Yeah.
Like not how much I'm making an hour. How much am I paying an hour to do this?
Yep.
And then they get mad at you because you're trying to put I'm like, I can't help it. I don't have any money right now. And I got to pay this person who's working. So it's fucked. And, my girl now, she knows, she understands.
I've told
all
the few people I have had working for me, which I don't have employees anymore and I haven't in a while.
Yeah.
But when I did, or when I try out people to volunteer and see if they're a good fit, I tell them, listen, I'm not really paying you for your time to work here. I'm paying you to free up my time to do other stuff.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to sit at the counter and stock the drinks or take out the garbage.
Yeah.
I can go work on ramps.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, like I literally just put a notepad on the front of the counter that says, I'm working on ramps. Please find me if you need me, and hope that no one's gonna fucking steal shit while I'm not looking. Right?
Exactly.
Just hope that people have my back.
Yeah, and are good people and are gonna not be sketchballs. That's all you can do is hope with that stuff, and that's a big thing with even running a store. Is you give so many people the benefit of the doubt, just because. Man, I want to, and you have to. And it's like, I don't want to judge anybody right away and think you're going to be sketchy. I'm going to just be like, you're a good person. You're going to be, damn it, you're sketchy.
Some people are sketchy for sure.
Yeah.
You got to put your guard up. Yeah, there's all those wheelie bike kids. I'm sure you've seen them at the skate park. They're a bit sketchy.
Yep.
They come in here, and I am the only bike shop that will probably help them.
Yeah. No, they come by me too, and I help with their tires because I got a pump.
Oh, God. They're a pain in the ass. I try to help them, and man, they are like, I've ordered parts for them, and they never came and got them. And dude, and like, they come in and they're just like, they're like digging through whatever's sitting on the workbench over there.
Yeah, whatever they can take.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, like, and all of a sudden they're gonna hang out at the shop for an hour, and I can't do anything because I have to kind of babysit.
Yeah, because you got to sit there and watch them so they don't steal the stickers or the candy or whatever the hell you have on the counter.
And then the kid who's kind of sketchy, he's like, oh yeah, my friend, he's kind of sketchy. Like, you're even admitting that
you're even saying you're sketchy. You're the sketchy one.
It's gotten to the point with the kids where some of them, I'm like, I'm not working on your bike today, like, because they want you. It's my mistake almost for being too nice to
No,
them
I do the same thing where
doing stuff for free. And
I did that for so long, Dave. I had to just stop. Park Avenue was when I stopped doing stuff for free. Bikes,
really,
boards.
if you touch a tool, like really, they should be paying you.
Oh yeah,
something,
no
right?
question. And for so long, you've done free like some serious ass work on someone's board or bike where you're like rethreading something or trying to get something off, or some thread is mostly with trucks for us where, you know, the wheel's stuck on or something and they can't get it. And you're like, all right, I'm going to recut this, or I'm going to do this and that. I got tricks and stuff that I know that can get this off. It's like, man, I should be getting 20 an hour minimum.
Yeah.
Because it's been 2 hours. I want like $50 now for taking, I just saved you. But that's stuff that you do, you know, and, you know, you think about it now, you're like, man, I've said no to things. Electric skateboards was a big one. People started bringing those in. Can you just help me with this? And I wanted to say yes at one point, and the guy brought one in once, and I'm like, no. Like, I just had to start saying no.
You see this e-bike right here in this room?
Yep.
That bike has been here since before I left on my vacation last May.
Nice.
And sometimes you get burned on the e-bikes, but I'm literally the only bike shop that will work on e-bikes.
Yeah.
So I charge a bit more.
Yeah.
But still, my labor rates are way lower than the other shops.
Yeah.
So it's still less. And I've gotten into even like working on the electronics. I got the multimeter and I'm testing everything because there's like literally nobody would do it. So I'll do it. And I tell them, listen, it's going to be a minimum. I'm going to charge you $25 an hour. It's a minimum of 1 hour.
Yep.
And then actually, it turned out the electrical work is like super, super easy. It's like there could be 3 things that are wrong. So usually it's like I end up charging them $25 for something that took me like 5 minutes. So it's actually worked out really good that I decided to start doing that.
To dive into those. See, I looked at the boards and I just don't know that stuff. You know,
Paige is in the chat.
Oh, Rad, what up, Paige? Yeah, I didn't know the electric stuff, and I just like, no, dude, I can't mess with any of those things at all.
All right, well, I got one more.
What do you got?
Kind of question, and then we're gonna do some rapid fire questions, and we're out of here.
Let's go.
When I had Jimmy on the podcast, he mentioned the first ramp he remembers riding or seeing, maybe first indoor ramp.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how I phrased it, but he said there was a skate shop in Henrietta that had a little spine mini in it. Do you know what that skate shop was?
Not in Henrietta, I don't.
He didn't remember the name, and everyone I've talked to doesn't remember the name. All I know is it was a little spine mini, and if you were too far to one side, your head would hit the air conditioner. That's the only information I have.
Nope. I don't know anything. I didn't go to Henrietta very much back then. No, I got nothing on that.
That's fair, because there's almost no reason to go to Henrietta ever, because that place
I don't
sucks.
ever want to go to Henrietta. I'll stay away from there if I can. But no, I never, you know, the shops I dabbled with back in the day were JR Skates and then California Skates. I think we had California Skates was the one in Buckman's Plaza.
Was Samurai around before you?
Yeah, Samurai was around too, yeah. But that, you know, the Grease ones opened up and we didn't have to go to the city then when JR and California Skates opened. But we would go up to Samurai too every once in a while. But they're dicks.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dude, always, yeah. They, you know, you were a rich suburban kid. That's how they treated you. And I'm like, dude, I'm poor white trash kid. What do you mean? Like, I'm definitely not rich suburban kid. Like, none of us are. You know, we're driving up here in shitty Datsuns or whatever, you know, up from Hilton. And, yeah, they were, you know, Samurai was Samurai. That was like the cool guy. You'd get cool guide.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like when your guy cool guide me.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. And like,
I'm sure I've cool guide people too.
Yeah, I've cool guide people before and never really meant to, but I've definitely done it.
Well, sometimes it just seems like it. You're like you said you're knee deep in 3 things running the business, and you're waiting on an important email, and you're going through a divorce, and then someone comes in the shop, and you're like all flustered, and you're like, I went in the shop, and he didn't have any time for me, even look at me, and you're like,
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've had employees, you know, like you were saying, that just they were bodies. They did great at filling the space, but they weren't the best ones to be there, and they weren't personable. And, you know, that really wasn't his calling in the end.
Yeah.
You know, but he was a great employee because he could always cover. That was what it was.
It's a trade-off. Everything's a trade-off.
Stuff like that, you're like, yeah. Yep. But I need to have a day off, so I'm going to deal with it. It sucks to hear. And that's employees.
Are you ready for some rapid fire
go.
questions? Well, actually, you already told me what your first skateboard was, that plastic one.
Yeah,
right?
Makaha, the Viper.
I don't know if this question really translates into skateboarding the way it does in the bike world, but what was your favorite skateboard?
Ron Allen, rubber room board from H Street. First board I landed on a picnic table with. Yes, that definitely translates.
All right. What was you might have answered this too. What was the first shop you ever went to?
The first skate shop I ever went to was Track and Trail. It was like, they did bikes, skateboards, and skis. It was on Monroe Avenue. My dad's buddy worked there. And then, the first real skate shop I went to was Samurai.
Okay. What was like the coolest, like the sickest skate shop you ever went to?
Damn. Like back then, Samurai was pretty rad. Like, because it was something that you'd never seen before. Whether it was the first one that was this big, tiny hole in the wall, or it was the new one that was down the street. That was really neat. And then traveling and going to other cities and walking into other shops somewhere new. One of the coolest ones I went to was Slappy's in San Diego. My buddy Jason Carney owns Slappy's out there, and those are rad. Just a cool, like in a garage, like literally open a garage door, and the shop was there. So that was really neat recently. So,
all right. Best video and favorite video. They might not be the same.
Okay. Fuck.
This is a tough one from our generation, the pre.
So one of the best questionable video, Plan B. I'm leaving a shit ton out, but questionable is definitely like one of the best videos ever made. My favorite videos, Eastern Exposure 3.
All right.
So if you can look that up, kids.
If Kevin's still in the chat, he'll like this question because I asked this question to Alan, and Kevin didn't like the answer. The question was, if you can get one session on one thing or one park or whatever, go back in time and get it, what would it be? And Alan said, just skate the streets of New York City. And Kevin was like, you gave my man a time machine, and he wanted to skate down the road. But I think he interpreted it more so like to have the youth and the endurance to go to literally.
Well, that was what that's.
Yeah,
I see that.
My
too.
idea is like, say you know.
But
you can pick you in your prime or whatever, or whatever.
Oh no, I would love to go down to the banks, Brooklyn Banks.
Brooklyn Banks,
we did back in the day. We got down there when it was popping.
Oh yeah,
ollied the wall. Corey Vance ollied the wall. Like we all went down. It was
when you say ollied the wall, what do you mean?
The wall, the little wall on the small banks.
Okay.
Because we skated the small banks too.
Yeah.
Which had the bump. It went to a white wall that went into the ramp, the exit ramp.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So
all the way at the end.
Yeah, the small banks.
Okay,
Then the big banks, we skated those too. I mean, the whole banks. Like, I want to skate all of them. They're so fun. That spot was just so sick because of the banks. And then the cool spot when they added the new stuff to it, and they kind of made it like a park, was really neat because they put a couple obstacles there and made like a box up on the big bank side. But man, ollieing into those big banks was so fun. Just the sound
it was
too.
So sad when they closed the banks, man. We would take the Staten Island ferry in, like from where I live.
Because you were down there too.
Yeah, so my local park was Sayreville.
Okay, I know Sayreville. Yeah.
From Sayreville, you could be in Staten Island in 10, 12 minutes, and then you drive through Staten Island, which takes you maybe another half hour.
That's not
you get on
long.
the ferry, and you take the ferry, and the ferry is free.
The SI
right?
ferry. Yeah, yep.
And there was times we would literally we'd be riding the park, like, let's go to New York City. All right, we'd leave this outdoor park at 9.
Yeah.
And then literally ride all night, and we'd take like a 5 a.m. ferry when all these like zombie people are walking into Lower Manhattan to their shitty office jobs. We were like these sketchy BMX kids.
Yeah, leaving.
Yeah.
So sick.
Thanks for incredible.
It's such a fun spot. Yeah.
All right.
It should come back at some point.
What was the best skate trip you ever went on?
Oh, That's the first one with Alan driving cross country.
He said
He
the
said,
same
"Yeah, I know
thing.
he did.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome, man. What are you gonna do?" You know, we drove into San Luis Obispo, like the first time getting into California, like at the bottom of Cali, and we drove up Cali. You know, we drove all the way. We did a circle. You know, we didn't get down so far into Texas, but we went through the middle, through Colorado and shit like that, and then we went through Vegas and up. Yeah, skated all over the place. Met all these dudes, like a bunch of reps. It was the first time we went into like skateboard companies, you know, on the road. It was so neat. Just kind of
That's awesome.
seeing how the sausage was made.
Who's the best skater to come out of Rochester?
Oh, fuck, man. Overall, like, so I'm gonna give a few on this. There's Greg Lang, you know, local dude, killing it. Had like a small company movement. Had a pro model on movement. Jeff Prock, Brian Krankowitz, and Flaherty. Dude, there's guys now that kill it, and kids now that kill it. But dude, you could watch Prock skate down the street and just do an ollie, and it was great. Krankowitz fucked up every handrail. Donofrio kills rails now. Dude, Krankowitz fucked rails up. Nose grinds, crooked grinds, lip slides, back lips, front lips, anything. Just watch Krudco Black video. Go to Krankowitz's part.
Yeah.
It's fucked, dude. He skates rails that pro skated, before pro skated them.
That's
and
awesome.
just did tricks on them. And big gaps in snowboarding. Dude, Krankowitz, holy cow. Not the best style ever.
Yeah. So who is your favorite Rochester skater? And while you're answering this, I gotta go fix that alarm.
No, fix that alarm. Oh, man. Okay. So the favorite Rochester skater, damn. I got to have a favorite? I'm going to say Greg, man. Lang Daddy. Just skating with him and shit like that. Learning to skate switch all around downtown with that fucker. And just the amount of traveling and pushing
Was
the
he a
envelope
big
that he
switch
did.
guy?
Yeah. And
Okay.
when he got into it and like did it, he wanted to skate switch just normal. Like you could normally skate. So it was, all right, this is how we do it. We push switch everywhere. You
Right.
only skate switch all night.
That's crazy.
That's it. You don't skate regular. You hate it. But damn, dude, within a week, you love it. Because now I can push switch like nothing. No big deal, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So stuff like that. And aside from guys like, you know, like Alan and, you know, being my best friend and stuff like that. And some of the older guys like Joe Giamatti. You know, those guys are rad. Dave Schmidt, like older skaters that skate now and still push it and still do it. Paul Phillips.
Dave's here
you
all
know.
the time.
Yeah, Schmidt's, he's an OG.
Damn.
Like his older brother's an OG crud too. Like he's a real OG, man. I've known that kid forever.
All right.
He's rad.
Who's the best employee you ever had?
Oh, Alan.
Yeah.
That's
a cop out.
It is a cop out,
Yeah.
but it's real. But other than that, I mean, shit, I've had some other really like amazing employees over the years. Ian Byers, Potter was a good one, even though he wasn't. Scott Markham. Yeah, that's some good ones. Ian and his sister, Paige. Everybody that's worked there has really been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, despite of whatever faults they may have had, you know, like just even you talking about Potter, you know. Yeah, he wasn't the most personable guy, but damn, he did his job when he needed to do his job and we needed him. He was there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Potter. You
Again,
rule.
Everything is a trade-off.
Oh, yeah,
and
always.
Everything in a small business
And I don't
is
hold
a trade-off.
anything against
Yeah.
anybody ever, you know. And it's like you gotta let stuff go, and that's what I've done too for so many years. Is just like, you know, mistakes and things that have done, and people that stole from you or whatever, you know, and you knew about it or found out. Like what are you gonna do? You know, you just keep that in the back of your head. You know,
The stealing is an interesting concept when it comes to the indoor skate park because if you don't,
yeah,
if you stay longer than you paid for, or you sneak
You're stealing.
in, like you're stealing, but it doesn't feel like stealing really.
No, but it is. It's time theft. It's still theft.
It's yeah.
I mean, as a business owner, like theft is theft, and like time theft, like that is the same thing. Like,
Like
well, I already paid, so what does it matter if I'm still
Yeah.
here an extra hour more? It's like it matters because it matters because you didn't pay.
I'm really lenient with like my time stuff and letting people in the session early or staying later.
Yeah.
And I hope that my customers like realize that like, when it's an out when your session was till 7, it's 8:15 and you're leaving, and I'm like, all right, take it easy.
Yeah.
Like every time I do that, I know.
Yeah,
you didn't give me the extra $5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're my dude, whatever.
Yep.
Like you're a good customer, like whatever.
Yeah, and
I hope they know that.
Yeah,
you know?
and you just gotta hope that they do and they realize that you know, and that but doing stuff like that also for that person, you might be giving them a little bit of an ego boost, a little something they need.
Yeah.
You know, and to be like, I'm special, like Dave, like I'm cool, like this place I go, I'm somebody.
Well, a lot of what I've done with my team is hook up the people that are already coming often.
Yeah.
They're already supporting the business by posting stuff. They already have a good attitude.
Yep.
And I don't mind because my team guys, I just let them in for half off.
Yeah.
Well, they get a free one per month, and it's free if they're coming specifically to film something
to
to
do
post
work.
on a collaborator
Yeah.
post. But it's like, it's people I want to be here anyway.
Yeah.
So it's almost like kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. And we've done our teams like that over the years too, where it's like, well, we like this. They're in here doing their thing. We like, you know, it may not be the best person, skateboard wise, trick wise, or you know, talent wise, but like there's something there, and you back them. They support you. The support is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, for anything like that. You know, you want your investment, you know, because you're making an investment in them as well with your money and your time and your energy. So it's like you just want some support. You don't have to like do a huge song and dance for us, but just support the shop, tag the shop.
Yeah.
You
totally.
know, and then you get some free skateboards here and there, free shoes, you know, half off on boards, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially these days.
All right, before our last little thing here, would you like to plug your info for the listeners? I think most people probably know, but...
Oh, yeah, man. If you want, give our YouTube a follow, Krudco Skates on YouTube, and then we got Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that stuff. You can probably just look us up, Krudco Skates.
Do you want to plug your new...
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry about that one. Okay. We'll leave that one for another day. The car wash videos, they're out there. You might find them. They're out there somewhere. There's an Instagram with them.
All right, but I'll give you the last question or whatever in a second. Yeah. But thank you for our listeners.
Thanks,
Please
everybody.
Subscribe to our channel, like this video. You know all the stuff. I don't even want to say it because everyone knows the deal. If you want to subscribe to us on Patreon, so you can do it for as little as $5 a month. It goes a really long way to helping me with the skate park and helping me with this podcast. And the whole point of this podcast, aside from the messages and the guests, is to grow our Patreon support enough to help supplement, you know, the fact that the skate park barely makes it, you know?
Yeah.
So even $5 a month. And then
hit that Patreon.
On the other, you know, every tier of Patreon, there is some benefit to it.
Yeah.
Every month I try to give away something.
Yeah.
In 2 days on March 1st, there's an automated post on Patreon that everyone on Patreon gets a 20% off promo code for my new hoodies.
Oh, awesome.
You know, I gave away the calendars. I sent out magnets and stickers last month. So if you support it, I'm going to try to help you. When I have certain sponsors that help me with like the Element sample packs, it's like, you know, I try to spread it out, the people that help me.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you. Also Wrench Fest. Saturday, March 8th. Krudco is a sponsor of the event.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be all-day skate park party. There's bands and vendors. There's a mini ramp jam for skateboards, spy mini jam for scooters, bike rail jam, bike box jump jam, scooter resi best trick contest, DJs.
All sorts of stuff.
We're going to be doing raffles. Everyone that comes in gets 5 free raffle tickets, and you can buy more. We're raffling off skateboards, scooters, a balance bike, a gift card to Carnegie Wine Cellars. It's just a super nice restaurant.
Oh, that's rad. Yeah,
I have, what else is there? I've just so much stuff. It's just trying to party, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
The Indie Brothers are playing, Duke Galaxy, Rhino
Yeah,
Chasers are
heck
playing,
yeah.
Surf Rock Band. It's just going to be sick. I've never done an event at this scale all day.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Maybe this becomes annual or quarterly.
Heck
Who
yeah.
knows? So come out to Wrench Fest, have a good time.
Heck yeah.
And for you, Aaron, do you
Yes.
have a message for the riders, for the parents out there?
Oh man. Dude, I don't know if I have any messages anymore that I haven't said to anybody
That's
or haven't done it, or just be good to each other. That's all I can say at this point in this crazy ass world we got right now, and just go skateboarding. You know, that's it. And it's not bad stuff, parents. Skateboarding's awesome. Not that anyone really thinks that anymore, but maybe they do. But just get on your board, get on your bike, go outside. That's what I got. Just go the fuck outside when you can, when this winter goes away. And if you can't go inside and be active,
Yeah.
kind of a generic message, but that's the
That's
message of the
cool.
day, you know.
Everyone, I appreciate you being
That's
here.
it. Oh, I appreciate
I'm
getting
sure
asked to come out. This is awesome.
yeah, I'm sure I could have you on again, and
Oh,
we could go down
could.
so many wormholes.
Oh yeah, we
here.
could just go.
There's
It would be
yeah.
it would be interesting, yeah. We
So
could,
anyone that listened to this, you feel
Deep
free to
dive.
drop us a comment or an email or something and tell us what you liked, or if there was something that you'd love to see us go down.
yeah, if
the
you want,
wormhole.
let us know, because we could definitely, yeah, we could sit down for another couple hours and dive into something, whether it's wheel size.
Yeah, I would like to almost frame those almost like a debate. If I can get on like someone who likes wide contact patch
Yeah.
hard wheels, or someone that's like softer radial small
Yeah,
contact.
that would be interesting to
Like,
get that.
It'd be an interesting format to see if if a debate style could work. I don't know.
I would love to hear the debate, because I get so many people, different people that come through and are talking about, oh man, I really love the soft wheels, the real smushy wheels in the park are so good. And I'm sitting here going, man, no, dude, the real smushy ones are real slow in the park. The real hard ones are too slippery. You need that right in between. You need that 97, 98 is that good.
Yeah,
Like-
I had like the Reynolds 93s and
Yeah.
some 97s. Like
Those
kinda got
even
that middle
seem,
ones.
the 93s, I got a pair of Dragons, which are the same as the Reynolds one. It almost seems like it would be they might be a little too soft in here. I don't know. I'd have to bring both boards. I'd have to bring a multitude.
All right, let's not go down
Yeah,
another
we can't.
wormhole. This is what happens every episode. We
Yeah.
try to finish and we keep talking about stuff. So I guess
Just cut.
I appreciate you coming on.
Was
If
over
you need
the-
skate stuff, go to Krudco and then
Come see
bring it
us.
here to come ride.
Yeah, go
And,
ride down here. Come
I
out.
told Alan, with your new, I don't want to call it a revival, but this turning the page, the new chapter of Krudco. Anyway, we can collaborate, we can work together.
yeah.
Anything we could do, I'm so down. I know the way Alan was selling it was like being more community based, more like let's
Yeah.
make it more about the community and us, and that's my vibe.
That's with having him on board again,
yeah.
and how much work he's done in the past with that stuff. That's
Like I
what-
always say,
that's what
BFS
it's
is
all
for the
about.
kids.
Yeah.
It's if we
Fred
don't
loves the kids.
right now, if us core people in the sport aren't actively trying to recruit the kids and convince the parents to get the kids here, to get them to get to those first tricks, those first
Yeah,
learns,
just those
to
first
get
little
that ball
like
rolling,
that first sparks.
that,
you know?
that's the kids are the future. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Awesome.